Greetings, all who roam this world. My name is Markiplier. 2025 was a wild year for Improv D&D. More shows, new conventions, and a lot of moments where we looked at each other on stage and thought, there is no way this is real. We did a reflection episode like this last year.
It's over. The illusion is over.
Yeah, we broke it. But that's all right. We had it going for a little while, and then I lost my
Markiplier.
place.
Greetings all who roam this world.
Markiplier, place.
And welcome back to another episode of Side Quest, a Quest Bros podcast.
Yes, we have 5 of us this time.
All 5 of us.
All 5 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a sound effect.
I was too.
Sorry. Here. Sorry, I think one of the words tripped me up, and then I was just like, I can't read this.
That's okay. Anyways, yes, we are here to talk about our Improv D&D Reflection. This is our 2025 season review, you can call it. We're going to be going over all the conventions that we went through this year, what went well, what didn't go well, what we liked. We had a lot of great feedback about this from last year. So we thought, hey, well, we've got this amazing podcast setup that we can use. Let's take advantage of it. So, again, we're going to go through. We asked our viewers, too, a lot of people in the community, our adventurers, to submit some questions. And we did get some questions submitted as well. So we've got some of them is here. The first question, though, that I could say is from our wonderful photographer who's taken amazing photos of us at Fan Expo and C2E2, which is Bianca. Her question is, what's good?
Oh man, so much. So many things are good. How to even approach such a question?
Like in terms of the con going scene or just in general?
How you guys doing?
What's even funnier is I thought he was going to drop like her Instagram.
I
real quick.
don't know it off on the top of my head.
Which one? She's got like 2.
Yeah, her photography Instagram, it's in the description.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's right here on screen.
Yeah.
Well, Bianca, to answer your question, fucking abysmal. I'm just kidding. No, it's doing good. We're doing good.
I mean, all things considered, I think it's been a great year. I think I'm doing pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about it in terms of improv, I think honestly this has been our most successful year. Luckily, they keep getting better and better, but I think truly we made some big waves this year.
I don't think we've really ever had an off year as far as the business side of things go. I mean,
there's been some off cons, but like
yeah. But on the whole,
nothing to spoil the entire batch, though.
Yeah, correct.
Almost weirdly enough, this year was more about working with voice actors than anything else.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
that was a big step for us.
So if you haven't seen already on our social media, I had made a graphic, which I printed out here for us to view. Matthew's here too. He's always quiet.
Hello.
That's exactly right, Bob.
That was a very like late night with Matthew kind of radio hello. Sorry, I'm hogging the mic from him.
Oh, you're good. So I made a graphic for us because again, this got a lot of great feedback too. Even like I had like, I think Jared, you said that your dad even responded to you from the graphic, the analytics from 2024. He was like, I love this analytics.
Yes.
And even my dad too. Dads just love analytics.
Yeah.
I think it's our dad specifically because of the business they do.
You
As
gotta
an honorary dad, I love analytics.
you gotta pump those numbers.
You showing some fucking statistics.
Number go up.
Yeah.
I love watching number go up.
Number go burr in brain.
So I printed them out so we can look at it because I forgot to put it up on the screen up here for us, even though this is an audio and not a visual. But so I guess that's where we can start the conversation is going through the overall general 2025 analytics, and then we'll start going into each of the cons. So this year, 2025, we attended 7 different conventions, that being in chronological order: Anime Milwaukee, C2E2, Anime Central. Actually, the order might get wrong here. Anime Central, WeebCon, Anime 414, Fan Expo Chicago, Colossalcon North, and then not included in those 7s were then 2 solo shows that we did this year also. Totaling to a total of 14 shows performed, 24 hours of full improv D&D. We did
That's
full
a crazy
day.
way to contextualize it.
We have
24
done
hours.
a full 24 hours of improv Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey, guy.
How does that make you feel, Dan?
Hey, Dan, how would you like to double it? I'm going to double it.
I almost
Double it
feel
and pass
like,
it to the next.
correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we do more cons last year?
No, last year we did, I think only 5 or 6.
Yeah,
because
no,
this
we did
year,
less.
this year compared to last year, the only con that isn't on here, is Gen Con. That's the one we didn't do this year. But this year we added WeebCon, Anime 414, and Colossalcon.
See, now you pointing this out kind of ruins the boiling frog thing I'm doing on Dan to get him acclimated to doing more shows.
But the thing, it didn't feel like we did that many more.
We'll boil
Yeah,
that
to be
frog.
honest,
Also, then we did the solo shows on top of that as well.
Yes.
yeah, I don't mind doing more shows. I mean,
I was kidding.
I'm fine. I'm kind of to the point where it's almost like, oh man, we could do easily, like this just proves it. We could do a convention every other month or
Yes,
every
yes.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
could.
then
Ignoring the logistics of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well-
Unfortunately, my vacation time says otherwise.
Well, okay, so that's the thing, right? Like logistically, we could do double the shows. We just have to do the show and like not stay,
this
which
is
we
you
always
have to
do.
go. Yeah.
correct. And
But I think actually we're kind of reaching the point where there's only so many more cons we can even really
reach out to.
reach out and go to that are like arguably worth the expenditure to go to.
Yeah, and we'll talk about some of these ones too, like our experience and why, if they're worth going back to, what makes them worth coming back to.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're really going to pull punches when we're having these discussions.
No, not really.
This is for everyone to know whether if you want to attend these cons, we're going to give you our experience as con goers, but then also if you ever want to host a panel at these cons, we're also going to give you that other side of the
Panelist,
coin
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty like varied perspective on that because we experience cons as both.
Yeah. So then another thing,
24 hours.
24
Yeah,
hours.
24 hours.
That's insane. I'm sorry. I'm like,
Let's shoot for 40.
Total attendance from all shows. This is of course this is a rough
face Dan made, but it was funny.
This is a rough number because, of course, it's kind of hard for us at some cons to get full numbers, exact numbers, especially like C2E2 and Anime Central. We got close as possible, but our total attendance from all shows was 2,101 based off of all the numbers we had. So over 2,100 at least.
That's a flattering number.
Yeah. And then, but our average attendance across the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shows we did, average attendance, 300 people.
average con attendance.
Yes. Excuse me. Average con attendance. Yeah. 300, and that's pretty good. And we had some shows in there that were low shows. So
Well, yeah, because it was either the first year of the convention or it was our first time going.
yes, or there was just no promotion for stuff either. Again, we'll get to it, but so that number in theory, if you just took all of those, if you took out those outliers, this is the end. The average attendance is a lot higher. I do have a year over year from 24 to 25 of attendance. In 2024, our attendance at Anime Milwaukee was about 500. This is for both shows combined. However, this year, for 2025, I only had about 300. So we did lose a couple, but go ahead.
A part of the reason that was not because we didn't fill the room.
Yeah.
Our room was packed both days. The real reason was because we got a smaller room than we did the year prior. The year prior, they gave us the
Like a double room.
the biggest room other than the main room.
Yeah.
And we almost filled that room.
Yeah.
That they had last year. So we had really good turnout for Amkey.
Yeah, and this year we only had the same room twice. It was just a really long room. It wasn't wide. And usually those wide rooms that are double, almost triple the average size. But we can say it's all going to change for 2026, Anime Milwaukee. If you haven't seen it on social media already, it has been officially posted through Amkey themselves. We are going to be a main stage event at Anime Milwaukee this year. For our Friday show. And then we will have a second show on Saturday that will be 18 plus, Friday show, all ages. That won't be main stage. So even that Saturday show is going to be crazy too.
Also, a little aside that I want to point out because it was funny. When we were getting dinner, we were waiting a super long time, and Anthony just turns to us and is like, "This would never happen at a convention."
That's the one thing I hate about coming back to the real world is that I'm just an average person.
I'm just a normal person. And it's like,
but at cons, we are someone.
yes. And I even said, it's like, I can't go to work in a costume. I'll get reported to HR.
It's so funny because I so instigate that because I'm like, I know that that's how he feels. And I'm just like, don't they know who we are?
They don't know that we're the Quest Bros.
Oh my lord.
They don't even know what a Quest Bro is.
Going
Sorry,
back.
I had to get that
No,
off
that was funny. All right, so going back, so C2E2 then, last year we had around 150, closer to 200. I'm looking at a bar graph too, which is why my numbers are approximate. But this year, our C2E2, this one we didn't have a good number for. Oh, excuse me, I keep burping.
Because we had a unique room.
We had a very unique room.
And we still filled the fuck out
Yeah,
of it.
we filled it, but it was impossible for us.
We overfilled the room.
We overfilled. That's true.
We really
Good point,
overfilled
Matt.
the
Great
room.
clarification. And it was hard for us to get numbers on that because of the orientation of the room. Usually we can count the seats and then kind of figure it out from there. That was impossible here. But we averaged around that 300, 350.
We had so many people at that convention that there was people like sitting like in like 5 rows on the ground in front of the table.
yes.
Like a kindergarten classroom.
And the guy who was running, like, because it was like a gaming area, the guy who was running it was just like dumbfounded
Yes,
that
yes,
we
he
filled
was.
it that much.
Yeah. And we have the photos.
He
Yeah,
came
they're
up and he was
crazy.
like, I just got to know who you guys are to be able to fill this room like this. And then we were like, hey, we're just as shocked as you are because this is only our second time here.
Yeah.
And I just,
Flips him the card, Quest Bros.
yeah, exactly.
check it out.
It was so funny though, because he was like totally invested in the show because so many people were there.
But yeah, we'll go dive deeper into that.
Yes.
But I can now also officially announce, got the information today. This is actually now the first time you're going to be hearing about it because it won't go on social media yet. That we have been officially confirmed to return to C2E2. We got our panel acceptance today.
Yippee.
So, and it's an early acceptance letter too. And they told us that we might get posted on their social media and everything too. So it got a little extra flair with
Guest.
it. All right.
Give
Now,
us Elijah Wood.
Huge,
Give us the wood.
the huge increase is from Anime Central. Anime Central 2024 was a great year.
Yes.
About 425 to 450, almost 500 people.
Yep.
Anime Central, sorry, that was 2024, excuse me. 2025 Anime Central, over 1,000.
That's crazy.
We had 2 500 plus
yeah.
shows back to back.
Yeah, but I mean,
Hell yeah.
fuck, dude. Any convention anime related,
They do well.
especially,
so good.
They do so well.
You hear that, Dan? You performed in front of 1,000 people at one convention.
Yeah, I believe it.
Oh, there are repeats, but yes. Oh.
They don't need to know that.
And then because of the success from that show, that got us invited to WeebCon Indy, which then they put us on the main stage, treated us so nicely. And then we averaged it around 150 to 200 the whole weekend. Because again, that was the con's first weekend.
It was the first weekend for that con and our first time.
And
at
our
that
first
con.
time, yeah.
And it was, we'll get more into it, but it
Yes.
was actually like a smallish, but like almost like medium sized con.
Yeah, they had a lot of good things, a lot of A-list things going for them, but yeah, it was still felt very small. Then going after that, we had Anime 414, which was a brand new con for us as well.
Yes.
I'm having around a little under 100 from the 2 panels we did. Again, new con. I think it was only its second year. They don't even have panels at this con, and we were one of the first ones there. So we didn't have that many people to see it. It is kind of like a one-day con too.
Yeah.
But then going on to the next con was Fan Expo Chicago. This one we saw lower numbers with, and we will. I know if you've seen the vlog, you already know, but we'll get into it too. 2024 we had about 300 people over the whole weekend. Yeah, I'm reading that right. 300, and then this year we barely had 100. Oh, I think just a little bit over, maybe 125.
Yes. And we'll get into that.
Yep. And then after that, we've got Colossalcon North, first time con again.
Oh, yeah.
This one did pretty well for a first time con.
I
Our
think-
first
I
time
think-
there.
I think it went very well for our first time.
About
con.
175, and that was only one show.
Yes.
We didn't even do 2. Because I will say, Anime Milwaukee we did 2, C2E2 we only did 1, Anime Central we did 2, Fan Expo we did 2, WeebCon we did 2, Anime 414 we did 2, Colossalcon we did 1. And then not featured on this attendance then is our solo shows, with Funny Bone Mafia, which I don't have the numbers for that, but I think it was about 30 people, between 30 and 50 for each show.
The average was like 40. Yeah.
Yeah, so we did one in the spring and then one in the fall, and those did really well, I think, for a solo show. It was nice to have.
Most people that attended that were actually like college goers.
Yeah, since it was at a college. But yeah, I think those did well. It gave me hope that it was like, oh, we could definitely do this outside of a convention.
We could.
And collaborating with other like improv to groups and mix our kind of niches together.
Yeah.
It's an interesting experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
A huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. You directly help us keep the lights on, make bigger shows, and bring more Quest Bros content to life. If you enjoy what we do and want to support the Quest Bros more, please check out our Patreon. And
Quest Bros is sponsored by
Robin's Nerd Supplies.
if you're looking for dice trays, bags, or other table accessories,
Robin's Nerd Supplies.
has you covered. Make sure to use our link in the description or use code QuestBros to get 10% off at checkout. It's a great way to support the show and upgrade your game at the same time.
Robin's Nerd Supplies.
So yeah, we start 2025 really well. Very great. Anime Milwaukee. It's true. It's where we got started. You've heard the story. How did it go? What was the con like for us? I know this is like almost a year ago.
It's going to take a minute.
No. And so the con,
let's just talk about the con itself first.
the con itself was fine this year. I
Yes.
felt the kind of big thing about the con this year is that they opened up a new space.
Yes, they have the new expansion.
So the new expansion kind of left everyone kind of confused a little bit because of how the con was trying to work out that new expansion.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even blame the con because they had lots of signage for it. It's just people weren't familiar with it.
They weren't used to it.
Yeah. But they did
And-
space things out very
Yes.
well.
Yeah, and there was definitely more space, more seating, more a little bit of everything more. But it still kind of left the idea that they still need to kind of go back and rethink some of the fundamentals. A lot of the cons lately have been forgetting more and more to put out like water, something super simple.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Anime Milwaukee, they have some mainly in like the expo center, but they don't have it all over the place like some other conventions did.
The one plus side, and this is something that we also came across with Colossalcon, is because some of these con centers have gotten these updates, more like water fountain,
Are
are
just
in general around, and that makes things substantially easier.
Yeah.
Both for the conventions themselves and for the con goers. I agree, though, that when those aren't available in a reasonable distance, they got to put out the water stations.
I'll say, I think the other thing that Anime Milwaukee is kind of starting to struggle with is they're growing bigger than anticipated.
And that is also
So yeah, Anime Milwaukee is all volunteer run. That's the hard thing too. Is like if they had staff there to do things full time and dedicate all the time, they easily could do more. And that's no shame on them or anything.
No,
Like,
they do a very
they
admirable
do an amazing
with
job.
what they have.
Yes, it's just the nature of the beast, and it's something that they are very aware of themselves.
Well, and the one thing I don't really like seeing when I go to the conventions, unless it's for the panel rooms, is people sitting on the ground all over the place.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And the hallways are filled with these people just sitting on the ground because there's just not enough space for everyone in here. And it's like, okay, well, what do? Well, they put that entire center. So for their like merchant place, there's multiple like gymnasium sized places for these people, and one they completely dedicated to seating, and it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
It was filled. And there were still people sitting. And so it's kind of one of those things that like, well, you're in a popular city, a popular area. You're getting people from all over coming to this convention because it's so successful. And now we're just kind of like, you guys are too big.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
convention.
It's not even like the con's fault at that point. It's not Amkey's fault. It's just the convention center can't provide what they need. Like they only have so many chairs in that whole building.
What they can do, I think they did this 1 year. They can expand to some of the hotels.
And
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say, because I remember when I was a kid and I went to some of them, it never felt like that. But when I look at the numbers, they've grown a little bit, but like not substantially more than that. So I'm like, if they used the hotel more that's connected to the center, then they could get that crowd spread it out more.
Yeah, well, and I think part of the issue too is people want to eat, and when they want to eat, they want to sit. But where they have a lot of that seating, it's usually in like the board game area, and the people over there wouldn't allow people with food to sit over there.
Yeah.
Or in like all these spaces.
Yeah, and
but in that board game space, it was never fully full.
No.
And then so people would just be sitting on the floor, and it's like there's all these tables.
Having
they might have
those-
fixed that last year. That might have been a 24
I
thing.
think they did because with that new expansion, they have that huge area. In
yeah,
the
and there
Baird
was a
Center.
lot more new
they-
spaces to sit.
Correct. That was a problem in previous years that they definitely ironed out, because those are two things. Having board games and the food area in the same place is a horrible
Yeah, because
idea.
that was the thing. There was a food like stall back by the board games.
Yeah, no, did not work.
But okay, I mean, I think it was kind of negative though. But honestly, like I think Anime Milwaukee is for what it provides in terms of panels, experiences, and just things to do. I honestly think it is one of the best conventions, as there's always something to do.
Yes.
It goes late. And honestly, it seems like everyone at a panel, every time I go to it, whether if you actually enjoy it or not, there's always someone having a great time.
As far
There's
as it
something
goes,
for someone.
I have always had a good time at AMKey. I mean, there's
Hometown.
There's generally always at least been one off year, no matter which other convention. At least for the ones that I've participated in. That's the other thing. I haven't been to every single one every single year.
Yeah.
But AMKey's always been a really strong and very consistent experience. Overall, it's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite, that we go to.
Yeah, and I do think they take their feedback to heart, and they do try to their best to their abilities and what is provided to them to actually incorporate that stuff into the next years.
Well, and I think it's really funny because you're like, well, it sounds really negative. As Michael would say, my steak is too juicy, my lobster too buttery. They're suffering from success, and they're suffering from success for a reason, because they come back every year and they really take to heart some of the feedback that you give them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing I will say too, is that finding convention runners that like actually take feedback is just like any industry, which is to say that
look on Matt's
it's
face, yeah.
surprisingly rare to have them even listen in the first place, much less to actually take it into account for planning for next
And again,
year.
it's because these people aren't making profit from it. Like they're probably getting paid in some way. I hope so.
Sure, but like it's
like,
one of those things
yeah.
where it's like it's something like a passion project.
Yeah, they do it
Yes.
because they love it, not because they get paid to do it.
which very different motives.
I'll say this. Kind of one of the biggest mistakes that these conventions that do listen and then incorporate it into next year do is they also take all the good feedback. So here's the thing. We say all these good things that Anime Milwaukee's been doing. You know, we like the spacing of the center. We like the spacing of like the merchant district or whatever you call it. And we like kind of how they invest in the panel rooms, and they have all these other shows going on, and
variety.
Then the after hour stuff for the adults. We really love that stuff.
Yeah.
They don't just take that and go, all right, that's perfect, and then leave it as is and not try to be better next year. They do try to be better, which is something that I saw from other conventions this year. They took our feedback from last year and they were like, okay, let's fix that. They fixed those, and then they let the things that they did really well the year before kind of get swept under the rug. And now our complaints are, hey, you know that thing you did really good last year? You sucked at it this year. It was horrible. And it's like, I just don't understand why they...
Yeah, when I'll call it out now. When we get to Fan Expo, like that's the high. That's the one that does that.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh,
but
we're
yeah.
gonna say it when we get there.
I'll say it.
All right, but let's talk about Improv D&D now. How do we feel that went? The shows. Oh, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. What were the shows called?
I'll say this
With
while
the power of
he-
the internet, we can
Fine.
cheat.
This is why I started like actually giving them titles.
Yeah.
Because if I just said Anime Milwaukee, Improv D&D.
This wasn't Jesus, was it?
No, Jesus
No,
was
no, no, no.
Yeah, was Asen.
I will say that this year for Anime Milwaukee was a little frustrating because they did downsize us in the rooms. And it's not like the thing that's frustrating is it's like, okay, if we didn't fill the room prior, I kind of understand that. But we did fill the room the year prior and we filled it well. I'm like, it wasn't like there were still people standing because there wasn't enough seats and they wanted to be closer to the show. And it's like, all right, I kind of get that. I understand. But like you guys also need to know, like almost have someone go like, oh yeah, they filled that room. Yeah. Even if they don't have the exact numbers, just be like, oh yeah, they filled that room.
Matthew?
I think going into Anime Milwaukee this year, we were kind of under the radar still. Didn't really know who we were and didn't care about our metrics.
Sure. I think there was.
But now that we've been in contact with them more, we'll be front and center.
So I think basically everything that like was like wrong with the beginning of 25, where it's like, oh, they didn't realize this. Now they're like, oh, we didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, okay.
Here you go.
And in their defense, so a couple of other cons that we've consistently gone to do actually physically have somebody there to write down the numbers,
Yes,
and take notes on the different panels that are going on.
Yeah.
Amkey hasn't really been in a space or with the like to have the manpower to even do that.
Yeah, they have someone checking
Yes.
18 plus.
yes, they check
And that's
for
about it. That's
they
all
check
they can really
IDs,
swing.
and that's about it. And then they just kind
So
of.
I can't
stay
really
at the
blame
door.
them. How would they have really known?
And while I share that information with them after the show, regardless, even if someone is there, I will always share that with the con because I deserve to know. But again, I mean, staff could be changing over year over
And
year.
that's the other thing I was just about to mention is the staff changing over.
And also
right?
like,
because they're volunteers.
yeah. And then if they're volunteers, but then also like I could say these numbers, but if they don't have anyone that's like, if they don't really know,
Yeah. What
I could just,
what do those numbers mean?
Who am I? And then also, what are these numbers? Like I could have just lied about all these numbers.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
Yeah. But then the fact that we record these, we have the vlogs that show the behind the scenes of the lines coming to the convention. I mean, to our panel room. Like it really helps.
It's kind of one of, yeah, it does. It definitely helps. It's helped us in other cons for sure.
Yes.
To get the kind of stuff that we actually need.
Well, and even for 2026, the director that we were talking to for our communication, he's like, "Hey, I didn't go to your panel, but I watched it, and it was hilarious, and it was so funny." Also,
Absurd, by the
those,
way.
the panel titles, Friday's show was from enemies to lovers,
Oh yeah.
That doesn't narrow it down. That narrows it down so little.
and then Saturday's show was baking, basements, and a cult.
Yep.
If in the hype videos, actually this hype video will be for Amkey, but this is the one with the bananas, and I think they were trying to make the banana bread.
Oh,
and then everyone
yes.
kept chanting, "Join the cult! Join the cult!" But like for the show though, Improv D&D,
And you're saying the director
and they loved it. They loved it.
I'm honestly not really all that surprised by that though. Not to just sound like an arrogant asshole, but like it's just
you
like the
could-
shows are legitimately entertaining for most people.
Yes.
Yeah, and I do think this year too, Amkey's those improv shows they were very entertaining. They might not have been the most memorable for us, at least. Of course, I know we talk about it a lot. We create core memories for people that are there and experiencing it. But when you do 24 hours of it in a year, we do start to forget some of those
especially
hours.
having done so many for these many years.
The lines kind of blur.
Well, right. Certain shows just stick out.
Well,
more.
and then certain shows maybe, but like also just like what they do or what they did. Like, for instance, probably like if someone came up and they're like, "Hey, I was on stage," I'd be like, "Oh, I don't remember you." And I'm very forward about it. I'm like, I'm never trying to fake like I remember people. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I don't remember you. What did you do?" They're like,
Yeah, what was your audition thing?
"Oh, I was the mage and I didn't have any powers. I just used a rock." And I'll be like, "Oh yeah.
yes.
Fuck you."
Yeah, right.
Oh, bleep that.
Oops, all rocks. I mean,
I was like, you.
Yeah. So that being said, as for like an overall vibe though about how we felt Amkey did for Improv D&D, I feel
was
like
great.
it went.
It always
It's
does
still
great.
great.
It is a great cookie cutter, just like amazing show to showcase.
Yes.
It's a great thing for us to debut things. It's a great thing for us to test things because I think it will never be a bad show. And because now that we have this following too, we can really push the envelope with them, and they love it regardless. Because also, I don't think we've ever really done anything where like, oh, that was bad. Like we only test things when we are like, it's ready.
Well, I mean, there was Gen Con, but
we didn't. We weren't testing anything.
That wasn't testing the mold. That was testing a new demographic. That was completely different story.
And I guess that wasn't our fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
Which
really.
is insane that, I mean, side tangent, it's insane that Gen Con didn't really fold or pan out with Improv D&D.
And I think Michael had pointed out in the past where people at Gen Con that are going to something like that, they are expecting to sit there and listen and watch, not expecting to participate.
They're also expecting something more like traditional D&D / Critical Role kind of.
They would have wanted us. They were expecting us to be up there.
Correct. They were expecting
They
to
would
watch
maybe
a
cheer for
performance of
our
D&D.
answers, not them be up on stage.
Yeah, they were very confused from what I understand.
Yeah. But it ended up working out. And honestly, some of the greatest storytelling that we've had in an improv show. But again, that's 2024. From the Amkey, did we learn anything? What did we learn?
we need more room.
We need bigger room.
Oh, wow, that's
Well,
like, man,
I
if I had
mean,
a nickel for every time we had that.
Well, I
takeaway.
mean, we learned that going from 2024 to 2025 and now to 2026, that yes, the wider rooms are a better boon for us. Yes.
Yeah, I think if anything, Amkey kind of taught us that we need to, and it kind of gets into that when we get to WeebCon too, but Amkey kind of taught us we need to kind of have a more aggressive approach when talking to these companies or these programs for our panel.
I wouldn't say aggressive. I'd say it's assertive.
Assertive,
the
more
right word.
forward.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, we know who we are and we know what we can do.
And we know what minimum we need.
Yes.
Yes. If you support us, we'll do it for you on an even better scale. And now we are going to get that. And we're going to prove it to them that we can do it and we can do it even better.
Learning also from Amkey and having the hindsight of WeebCon, it also allows us to ask for more, basically.
Yeah. And we'll talk about some of that stuff
Yes.
too and what to ask for and how we go about that. But yeah, no, we definitely, I think it helps us build. What we learned was to have more confidence in what we do because we do a good show. We are able to provide something great.
Yeah, Amkey was a fantastic confidence builder of a con for us over the years.
I will say I am a little nervous for 2026 because
me too.
a lot of my friends that
I'm
wouldn't
always
go
nervous.
to Amkey are like, oh, I'm going to buy a ticket to go to your guys' Friday show. And I'm like, I would have preferred you just didn't tell me that. It's like,
It would have been a fun surprise.
it's like there's a good amount of my friends who don't typically go every year or go maybe once in a while. And they're like, no, now we're for sure going. And I'm like, yikes.
The good thing though, on the main stage,
Oh, no,
you
my
can't see
steak is too
faces
juicy.
from
Yeah.
up on stage. You
Don't
look out to
worry,
the
Dan.
crowd,
We're
you
going
can't
to exclusively choose them for the audition.
The only time, I mean, you don't even know them, so you might. But the only time I ever got kind of like that nervous was when Anthony goes, "My mom's coming," and I'm like, "You're what?"
Oh wait,
that
was it
messed
this
him
year?
up.
I think it was this year for Amkey. So fun story. I think I talked about this in the vlog, but again, if you haven't watched the vlogs for any of these cons, please go watch them. You honestly get so much insight of our experience in the moment instead of us trying to remember it 9 to 10 months, 12 months later. So Anime Milwaukee, my dad works in Milwaukee and we're there. I tell him we're there and he's like, oh, I should come and see it. Come see you guys. I'm just like, haha, yeah, you should. And then all of a sudden we're walking to the panel room and I see him walking down the con.
And I was like, is
no
that
badge.
Yeah, no badge.
nothing.
He's just there.
He's just there. And I was like, how did you get in here? He's like, I just walked in. And I was like, one, that's terrifying. And two, somebody is not doing their job.
Correct.
But it was so funny that just my dad just walked in. I mean, luckily we had a badge for him. So I was able to give it to him. But the fact that I think also because like he is an adult, he was wearing his work clothes. He looked like an executive who was on his way
your
somewhere.
dad has aura.
Your dad has business aura.
He looks like and walks like and talks like a man who has executive authority.
Yeah.
And so
Like an adult.
no, not like an adult, like an executive.
The adult.
The
Like
adult.
big business. That feels
he
like
is at the top of whatever department. He's in the accounting department. He's at the top of his department. Or honestly, he
nice.
might be towards the top of his company.
I will
for all
say
know.
this. I'm watching the time go and I'm like, man, we're so fucked. We're on.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Bleep
Oh,
that.
I knew that we were going to be on tangent.
Nope. Wrong one. Because
We're only one convention in.
we're
We're
one
third
convention
in.
in and we still have 3, 6, 7, 8 more shows to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, we'll try and keep going.
Let's
through it.
lightning round this.
All right, C2E. No, C2E2 is next. We are now in April of 2025. This is our second time.
Matt has words.
Hey, Dan,
Yeah.
say his name.
Say his name.
Say
his name.
Say his name.
Do you even remember his name?
Wasn't it like Craig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig.
Yay!
I
Craig,
hate
the
you guys.
convenience store manager.
We made a cult for a guy named Craig.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, for the show, that was fun. Honestly, we'll skip around for these questions since we're already talking about the show, the improv itself.
C2E2 is our biggest con to date.
It is for the con itself, it is the biggest in number.
Yes.
I just want to say I hate the fact that if anybody's watching this and they're like super fans of like the C2E2 show, that the one thing they're going to like from this podcast was something Matthew said. And that's infuriating.
One of the few times we get him to talk, and it's Craig.
But so yeah, it is C2E2 one of the biggest is the biggest show that we do in reference to their overall attendance.
Yes.
It was our second time there, so I mean it's great that they brought us back, and it was great that they did put us in a bigger room. They did do that. While it was an unconventional sized room, it had rooms of long tables, almost like a dining room.
Yeah, like a cafeteria.
Like almost like Hogwarts when you look at it and they're all in their rows of tables. That's exactly what it looked like. There's a huge space in the front, beanbag chairs in the back, and there was a model horse. I remember that.
We didn't get to ride the horse.
We filled every seat, people sitting on the floor, and then that's where Dan was saying we had 5 rows of fucking kindergartners in the front,
Yes.
crisscross applesauce. Waiting.
Of adults.
Of adults, not literally kindergartners.
It wasn't all age show because then we did get a 2-year-old on stage.
Yeah, like a 2 or 3-year-old on stage, which
I would like to go on the record and say that was not my choice. That was Michael's.
It was awesome. I didn't pick the child, just to be clear. I picked the father who was holding the child, and then he brought the child up, and I was like,
and they both auditioned.
Yeah.
But it's like, of course, the 3-year-old's going to win.
Yes.
oh, but then she also said something really funny.
Yeah, because she auditioned
Yes.
for the villain and asking, what is the evilest thing you've ever done?
And like Grima Wormtongue whispers in her ear what to say.
Yeah, and
then,
very like childlike.
Well, no, and then
Push
she
him
came
down
up.
with
It
the
wasn't even.
stairs.
Yeah, it wasn't even something he said. She came up with it on her own. She's like, "Mom pushed him down the stairs."
everybody
I was like-
erupts.
I was like, "Oh
and it's
my
like, and I was like,
God."
I'm sorry, everyone, you're not gonna win against this.
Yeah.
Nope.
The one.
worst,
The
by the way.
one downside to it for us was just a technical issue. I had talked
Yes.
with them ahead of time. They were like, "Hey, you're gonna have X amount of microphones in the room." I get there, we only have like 2 microphones, and then so I messaged them. Luckily, they give us like a phone number to
Oh,
contact.
screw talking about the con itself.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll
go
go
right
back.
into the.
We're in-
improv.
We're gonna
our
jump.
show.
We're jumping around.
And then I was like,
Totally
"Hey,
disorganized.
we were told that we were gonna have this, and it's not here." And they're like, "Sorry, that's all there is." And
Yeah,
I was
they-
like,
Deal with
They're
it.
like,
great.
they're like tough shit.
And I was like, "Okay, well, I get it, but all right." So I mean, we made it work, and it worked fine.
Yes.
The show itself was fun. I think a lot of great comedy from it. A lot of people loving it. I think anytime, Dan, you go against the grain, you go against the crowd, that just riles them up even
Yeah.
more.
It does. They
and it-
100% like the conflict.
They love it, and so many people stayed through the. Honestly, I don't. It was hard because there was a door like wide open in the back, so people were just coming in and out. But like,
There's so many people in the
90
hallway also listening.
Yeah, 90%
when I
of the
walked
people just
out,
stayed.
when I walked out, and there was still just like the crowd of people who wanted to say like that was a great show that weren't in the room.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, we had probably another like 30 people standing
Yes.
in like the hall listening, and it only brought to my attention because Nicole came up and she's like, "Oh yeah, there's a whole crowd of people like outside,
Like waiting for us. Yeah.
and they're like, she's like, someone said something about a fire code because that was another joke we brought up.
Yes.
And Nicole goes, well, the people outside are definitely breaking it.
Yeah, because we had a fire marshal come
Yes.
and audition,
We
and
had
he almost basically blackmailed.
Yeah, he was like, if I don't get it, I'm reporting this room right now. And I was like, what does that mean, sir?
And meanwhile, in my mind, I was like, joke's on you. We're not even from this state.
Yeah,
Bye.
right.
I would like to also go on record and say I also picked the fire marshal because
Yes.
He told you ahead of time, right?
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, I'm a fire marshal," and I was like, "Send it."
Yeah, send it. That was good. But yeah, great show, great people. I think I like C2E2 a lot too because we get a lot of our Patreon supporters that are there in person and get to see us, and we get to interact with them, and that's kind of again a community is. I like to say we have C4 for the 4 C's. We have community, collaboration, communication, and creativity.
Yes.
And
I like that.
and community that we have, we really get to experience at C2E2 and Anime Central. But C2E2, yeah, we get a lot of our Patreon supporters that come. That's actually where the debut of the new wearable sign comes.
Yes.
It was first debuted now at C2E2.
Yeah.
And that sign is so much nicer now. Shout out to our Patreon, Chrissy, and I think AB Personality. I think they both worked on it. I know Chrissy for sure. Also, Chrissy made our Ask Me About improv shirts. We got some new ones for I think, was it for you too? Or maybe it was just for Matt.
I still have the blue one.
Yeah, just the blue ones.
I did.
Yeah. So we got new ones for everyone now. Hopefully we'll be getting some green ones too.
Yes.
But again, shout out to them. It's a great community that we get to have there. And again, we got confirmed that we will be going next year. And I hope, honestly, it can only be bigger. And if not bigger, at least the exact same.
And hopefully this time they give us enough mics.
Yeah, right? Hopefully we get enough mics. The only bad thing too is they always lock their soundboard. So even if we bring mics, we can't add to it.
Yeah, so real quick, kind of the big thing for C2E2 for me is that I want to get in contact more with the people that are running the thing like we have with Anime Milwaukee and Fan Expo and
have an
everything else,
actual
and
contact
WeCon.
person.
Yeah, we had trouble. We had trouble finding somebody to talk to for C2E2. They are not nearly as accessible as most other conventions.
No, because they're running New York Comic Con, they're running MCM Con in London, and then C2E. So they are a company that runs some of the biggest conventions in the world.
Correct.
Well, still, I would love to have that experience with them and hopefully cultivate a way of same thing we did with WeebCon, where it wouldn't be out of the question to bring us to some of those other shows.
Yeah.
Then. They'd be like, oh, you guys are ridiculously successful in this con. Let's take you guys across state real quick. Let's take you to
New York.
New York. And
We're going to throw you into the depths of London.
Yeah, right?
Sure, and we're gonna kind of plaster you guys for a second on the boards and see what happens, see what sticks. And I'm hoping it turns out like Anime Milwaukee or C2E2 this year.
Yeah, and who knows? We one of our plans for just as a business is to kind of expand out to some more conventions. And Reed Pop that does C2E2 does New York Comic Con. Maybe once we reach out to them, they'll be like, "Hey, I recognize you guys. Let's have a conversation."
Yeah,
That'd be so sick.
We were putting together the list for cons to reach out to for 2026. New York Comic Con was one that stuck out to me a lot as being a good time.
Yeah.
As far as our normal con schedule goes, and just in terms of how many people go to it and everything else.
Because it's even bigger than C2E2.
Yes.
It'd be awesome if we could snag.
Yeah.
I will say, as a convention itself,
Yes.
C2E2 is very much invested more into the
Consumerism.
consumering
Yes. Yeah, the
side.
hall. Yeah.
The hall is their main focus.
I will also say they do their best to support fan panels as well, which I appreciate.
Yeah, the ones that they do have there, they do support them. They just don't have as many as Anime Milwaukee.
Correct.
They
Yes.
have literally half.
Yeah,
which
but they
is
do
kinda
have
crazy.
I mean, they've got those boards printed that say here's the time, here's the panel there. So they try their best.
They communicated
Well,
very
the,
well.
The,
Yes.
the emphasis that we're putting on the hall is just that whereas for most conventions, the hall is a sizable thing. It's probably the largest vendor hall I've ever seen.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
so-
When you go up to those food court parts and you look just across
Like
the sea of
The
vendors.
vastness.
it is if you are like in mind to buy stuff, C2E2 is probably one of the best ones to go to in the Midwest.
It is very much like a road show.
Yeah,
I will
because I mean, there's
say-
so many industries and like indie producers, big producers, and everything in between. Literally, you will find. And also, I forgot to even mention another amazing thing that we love about C2E2. Robin's Nerd Supplies is always there, and we always get to then collaborate with them in person.
Yeah,
whether
shout
if
out
they're
to Robin's Nerd
Yeah,
Supplies.
honestly, shout out to them.
Use
Also, they-
code QuestBros for 10% off.
and then they also like just let us
Shameless
store
plug, achieved.
store stuff at their booth, so we don't have to carry it around or back from the hotel, which is a long walk. But honestly, they are so supportive. They give us stuff to give away, and it's honestly an amazing time. Remember, they gave us the giant D20 to roll, and I was like, "Are you sure we might break this?" And they're like, "It's fine. It's only $300."
I believe they said you might break whatever you roll it on.
Yeah, you'll break the
that's
floor
also
before you
true.
break it. And I was like, "Fuck it, let's test it."
But no,
sure
to
enough.
kind of put a number to it, I think Anime Milwaukee's like vendor hall is closer to like 40% of their, maybe even like 35% of kind of what they have going on. C2E2's is like 75-80%.
Yes.
Yeah, that and then the celebrity panels that they have. Those then are then the next big thing that they
Correct. And that's like some of the other conventions, like Fan Expo is closer to like 50%, and Anime Central's the same, closer to 50. Anime 414 was like 95%, which is absurd.
Yeah.
And then WeebCon was like 50% as well. And I think 50% is a good amount.
It's a good balance.
So, but it's not like C2E2 is kind of like that demographic, you know, that's what they're going for.
Yeah. And also it's a huge space. Like if you have all that room, fuck it, fill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, I don't mind going to C2E2. And I think this year it really helped a lot having a connected hotel.
A hotel, yeah. Because
Yes.
the year before 2024, we stayed in Chinatown and had to Uber back and forth, which made it a little tricky. This
We
year
almost
did,
died.
This year we did stay at a hotel that was connected, and while it was a long walk, and we will be staying there again, it was easier at least to traverse. It was a lot easier to go back. Because again, when we stayed it for 2024, when we were done, we were just like, well, I don't want to pay for another Uber to go back.
Because then we're stuck.
Yeah,
we're
because we're
done.
stuck. So let's either just stay there all day or just go back early and then just chill out in Chinatown instead.
Which we did, and it was
Yeah,
a great time.
It was still a great time.
It's very difficult to have a bad time in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Someone has that as their phone screensaver. Of us just
I
I
use
do.
fun.
I do
You do,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah, where it's in black and white
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just
Dude, that photo goes hard. I took
it goes
aura.
so hard.
The aura in that photo is so hard.
We're going to recreate this, but with 5 people.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Soon.
So
Coming soon.
So C2, yeah, great con. Also, Level 21, we always get to collaborate with them and support
Yes.
them at their panels as well. So shout out to them. I always have a great time with them. Really, C2E2, I think it's just a good. It's just a good con.
Yes.
I don't really ever see any issues with the con and how it's run. It's not hard to get through security. Security is usually pretty easy.
Oh, and we had
Things are spaced out fairly well.
Such BDE this year.
Oh, yes.
yeah, because then we just get to kind of cut around.
Dude,
we get to go through the accessibility line.
There's nothing I like more at a convention than our badges working to bypass all the nonsense.
The level of
to get where
BD.
we need to go or what we're doing or to promote what we need to promote, to get in there and be in there and do whatever.
do our job.
Yes.
And do our job. It's so nice. And not every convention does it, but
When they do.
when they
it's
do,
nice.
it's so nice.
I kind of wish we could have used that, Matt and I, for when we were getting autographs.
I know that's the only bad thing that they don't work as VIP lines.
Yeah.
and the 1 year they did, we didn't know.
Yeah.
And it was like,
That was a
Now they
fan
don't do
expo
that.
thing.
Yeah, now they don't do
and
that.
now they don't do that, which they should. They should do more of that.
Maybe we'll put those in our contracts.
So what did we learn?
Yeah,
from
Congratulations, Matthew. Here you go.
Yeah. What did we learn out of this?
We need a more well-structured room, I found, and also more mics.
Yeah. I mean, more mics. That's something we kind of knew going into
Yeah.
it.
But otherwise, everything seemed to be promoted fairly well.
Yeah.
I would say that it was enlightening for me in the sense that I kind of got an idea of how much people would be willing to put up with to sit through one of our shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be really kind of frankly uncomfortable and or not be able to see the show well, and so many people still stay.
Yeah, because there were people all the way in the back in beanbag chairs that couldn't see anything, but they just sat there and listened the whole time.
Correct.
Laughter is the best medicine.
In that respect, you know, I guess it kind of is also a thing of like, okay, well now we know that like if it's not like a stadium style like seating arrangement, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
I think for me, it kind of taught me two things. One, it taught me more about how kind of meaningful some conventions like this was, because the first year we did this, I was like, this was a toss-up convention, and now we did this year, and now I also know more about C2E2 and all their connections and stuff. And I'm like, man, this was a really smart idea. It felt more thought out than I even thought about it. And then as far as like the improv show itself goes, it kind of teaches me to almost understand like it gives me the skill to kind of mold whatever I need the show to be to suit the crowd, or in this case, it was to suit the person on stage, because having a 2 or a 3-year-old was very difficult. But after the show, everyone was like, that was great. You did great. Everything, blah, blah. And I think when working with kids like that, I think the bigger thing is, and I did it at the first year we did Fan Expo too, because we had that 10-year-old on stage. I think the bigger thing is making them comfortable on the stage and kind of turning it into a one-on-one thing instead of a one-on 250 people.
Sure.
I mean, it's really difficult to have kids on stage.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
extraordinary.
and you guys
the
have
fact-
done it to me twice.
And the fact that you've managed
I
to
regret
like,
nothing.
He turned it from like what would normally be a nearly disastrous thing to like an unforgettable show for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think because you had the father,
Michael, please more.
because you
No,
had the father
seriously.
there too,
Dude, a lot. You literally made a core memory for that child.
You do
Yeah.
make the best of a bad situation.
And we've been told that before. Like they've told us that.
Yeah.
That this is like a core memory for them, and like they're really interested in D&D now.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, and I think having that father there too also helped a lot. And then also it like I think kind of like what Michael was saying, it was like it showed the patience of the audience, where because like who's gonna start booing that the 2-year-old is taking their time to come up with words? Like if
An
you
asshole.
do, you're the asshole. Like no one is upset that child is taking forever.
Well, and it's like not just the child, but like other people also take just a really long time. And I'm gotten better over the years of like, hey, let me help you out here. Let's think of anything. This person did this thing and this person did this. I mean, you're not going to let them do that, are you? And the kid's like, push him down the stairs. And I was like, there you go. Roll for it.
Counter proposal stairs.
Yeah. I was like, you could stop them from talking to the store clerk and you could just murk them. And they're like, push the store clerk down the stairs too. I was like, sure, that works too. Roll for it.
The one thing I will say I learned, which I don't think I realized it until we had like our team meeting a couple weeks ago, was that conventions like this that are comic conventions work way better if we just have a all ages show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was saving that for
Agreed.
a different.
Yeah. Well, we could talk more about it, but I think this is the point now where it's like, okay, comic shows, comic non-anime shows, all ages. Anime shows, 18 plus.
Yep.
Yeah, which we only learned that more recently, and I was holding on to that for the convention that we did learn that from, which was both Fan Expo and Colossalcon.
Yeah. So, okay, next, though, in chronological order, we have Anime Central, which
I always love going to Ace.
ASEN is honestly one of my favorite shows because of the people.
Yes.
The people is what make it for me. And like, again, if you saw the recording or if you were there, I missed a wedding to be there for it because I was like, I can't miss this.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
Good times.
I actually forgot that he skipped a wedding for this convention.
Yeah, because Anime Central is so good. I mean, the one hiccup that we did have is that when submitting the application, I was only one name on it. I thought there were multiple names on it, so we only got one badge when we were supposed to get up to 3.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a hiccup. It was whatever.
And then I almost didn't get a badge because
that was the year before.
Oh, that was the year before. Never mind. I did get my badge. That was also the year that I tried to audition for a voice acting thing, and it did not work because they cut me off. It took too long.
But for the con,
I didn't do that.
The con itself, though, I liked how the con flows. It's got carpet in the beginning. The celebrity section isn't too large.
No.
And they seem to have it very well organized. I was able to get a signature too, like kind of in and out. And then also, it seems like all of the vendors there are very cheap.
Yes.
Are very reasonably priced. Also, again, this takes at the Rosemont Convention Center. Anime Central uses the entirety of the convention center.
They are so good at using that space. It's so nice.
Because that was my first ASUN, and that was one of the things that really jumped out to me was how they used the space and allowed everything to be spaced out.
And it was funny because me and Michael, I mean, we probably talked about it for hours when we were there. Just about, he's like, why don't other conventions do this? And why don't they do this? And one of the big things they do is that they have like an area where it's like there's plush carpeted and it's so nice.
Yeah, to walk around after walking on that hard floor.
To walk around on that like plushy, cushy carpet, it's like, oh, my ankles are like singing.
Also, and then even if you sit on the floor, there are some places just to sit on the floor.
Correct.
It's nice.
Yes. Also, one thing that they do that not a lot of cons are doing and they're phasing out is a physical guide.
Physical book guide. Yeah.
Physical book guide.
Well, it doesn't have the schedule in it. It does at least have some information in it.
It tells you who's going to be there and like what they did, which most people, that's what they use the guide for.
Yeah, we went to another con. Was it Colossalcon that did that? And we were like, what is this?
Yeah, it was. The paper maps with the schedule.
We were shocked that they had it.
I fucking love it when they do that, when they have the maps on one side and the schedule on the other. It's so nice.
That being said, like this con was so nice this year. The only real big like kind of hiccup was kind of how they used the upper area of the convention hall. And it kind of felt cramped up there because they had basically 2 main ways of coming in, and that upper part just should not be a main way of coming in. But I mean, now that everyone knows, it's just never going to not be that.
I think because it's also connected to one of the hotels.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's kind of rough.
One little qualm that I do have, we talk about them using the space, but the main floor area. So in Fan Expo, it's when you go in and then it's just immediately like the
vendor hall?
Yeah, the vendor hall. They use it as more of a gathering area.
Tickets are over there.
Tickets are over there. There's a lot of that space that is just empty, and it bothers me a little. Like they could like cart off one part.
I think in the mornings when it's like just opening, that's full.
Oh,
It is.
fair.
And we never get there in the
And
morning.
we don't go there first thing in the morning. But the other thing too is because they use the rest of the space, they can afford to have that space cordoned off for entry.
Good
and
point.
It was warranted because at the end of the day, when people were leaving, that space not being blocked up by being too small was also noticeable.
And it's also just like a nice place where it's like, hey, I can't find my group. You can just meet up there and not be like claustrophobic, it's just a good meetup
It's
space.
one of the more intuitive setups for entry that a convention has done. A
Yeah,
lot of them do this long, twisty, yellow brick road thing.
Yes.
And is a pain.
Yeah. And there's also bathrooms there too and like drinking stations. So like it's just a nice recombobulation area, like an airport.
Just in general, for con going amenity purposes, I think Anime Central did it very well.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I know ASN02 always has their drink stations. You always see someone filling it up. Things are just, I think the aisles are always very wide.
Yes.
Tons of space.
They're so well spaced. Even
so
Artist
well
Alley
spaced.
doesn't feel like claustrophobic.
And that is such a rarity that, like Dan said, we were talking probably for hours.
Yeah, you talk about it every time it comes back into your mind because it's so nice. Especially because it's a convention center that we've been to many times. So it's like, why aren't other cons doing this?
Maybe we should do more stuff with ASN.
I would like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. The other thing is it's like the amount of just comfort you guys would get if you gave it a single foot more for the vendor
other
house.
cons, not for ASEN. Other
Yeah,
cons.
for the other cons, just like ASEN does already. And I believe ASEN had a good amount of seating for food.
Yes.
And I saw that this year Fan Expo also did, but it still wasn't enough because they're
it's
so
not. It wasn't.
popular. And I don't know if that will ever be enough for a lot of these conventions because they're so popular.
So the thing is with like, okay, for just to not like, I'm not going to try to derail on this for too long, but with Fan Expo, they dedicate so much of the space of the convention center to entry that the space that they should be using for more tables and chairs is used for entry. And it's just unnecessarily long. It does not need to be that long. Not even for peak times does it need to be that long.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, they spend a lot of space for that. And we've gone there early and it's never been that bad. That it needs to be that long.
Even our first year when we got there kind of later and like everyone was in there and we had to wait to get in, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, not needing that much space.
They do use that lobby space more than ASEN does.
Yeah,
Fan Expo.
because they need to.
Yes.
Well, and also ASEN doesn't even rent that part out usually. I think this year they did though for the gaming.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had the gaming stuff set up in that other wing. And that's another thing, too. They had that entire section dedicated to cosplay picture photo
Yeah, they
booths.
have all these booths everywhere
And-
for photo ops.
And it was all so well spaced out and there was plenty of places to sit. It was
and they
just
had
totally just so nice.
They had an escape room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they
I've
did.
seen more and more of those now, and I'm like, how does that work here? But I mean, we've done a couple of, one or two of them.
Yeah.
So they're fun.
So yeah, overall, Anime Central gets a gold star.
Yeah, so then
10 out of 10 would do again.
talking about the Improv D&D show. So some of the craziest and honestly the best crowds that we have are at Anime Central. The first show was Jesus Came So We Could Sin.
Oh, yeah.
So this is when no, it was just a pretty average normal. This is when we had our buff wizard for the first time where we first met him.
Yes.
Again, great engagement, just everyone so involved the entire time. And there's just a lot of energy that this con provides for us, and which is honestly what I love so much.
The anime the anime conventions really do have just an energy to them. Like, it's a way for people to cut loose. I know they're doing something stupid
I know.
next to me. It's a way for people to cut loose and be more expressive.
Yeah, and that's a good point, is that I feel like Anime Central, people really come out of their shell.
Yeah.
And Anime Central, everyone feels like they can be their authentic self.
Well,
and we get that.
Not just ASIN, but also like AMKA, WeebCon,
Yeah.
like the anime crowd and Colossalcon, especially Colossalcon. They are just so...
Unapologetically themselves.
Yes, unapologetically themselves and so unapologetically rambunctious.
Yes.
In the best way.
So then the Saturday show, again, I'll also take a step back too. We got into the room. The room is a perfect size that we wanted. Optimal size. Had all the mics, had all the table space. Literally, there was nothing we could complain about.
Yeah.
Friday, great. Saturday, another great show. We had 2 fighters or 2 villains. Because we had Arthur Morgan and I think that there's 2 people on one role for something.
Yes. It might have been 2 villains.
I think it was 2 villains.
Okay. I think it was 2 villains as
I
well.
don't think we've ever had 2 of a party member.
One thing I do...
Or except
there was
that one
once where we had
time.
2 fighters.
There was that one time, but yeah, no, I don't think it was that though.
But this show was Momthra was an inside job.
Yep.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
I appreciate that Arthur Morgan for never dropping character.
Oh my lord,
So-
I
He
love
was
people
so
who do
good.
characters.
That show specifically was a one big giant kaiju 9/11 joke.
Yes.
Amazing.
And sometimes the jokes turn into that, which is
Sorry,
fine.
there's been a second Mothra.
The thing that is just the funniest to me, that's the
King Ghidorah hit the Pentagon.
that's the show that the executive for WeebCon saw and was like, "That's my kind of humor."
That's exactly
He's
me.
like, "We gotta get these guys coming."
They literally
Saturday-
pointed to us and we're just like, that's what we want.
Saturday is my favorite because of everything else except the show. The show was great. It was awesome. My favorite, like the 30 minutes before, where we just sat up on stage and just talked to people.
Oh yeah, that is this show too.
It was the Saturday show, and we just had a Q&A, people asking about who we are, people knowing who we are, and like softballing us questions. And I'm like, oh my god, you did your homework.
So we got there 30 minutes early.
Yeah,
and
just to set up like we normally do.
And we normally get there
and
like
we just
30
had people in the room.
And there were so many people in the room, like a crazy amount,
like 120 people.
Already, like 30 minutes before the show, which is I think is the most we've ever had preemptively in a room for us. And we're like, well, we can't just not interact with 150 people.
We're good at setting everything up. We've done this so many times, so it's like, all right, everything's set up.
Yeah, I remember the discussion kind of more or less being, should we just start like we got all these people
just
here? Should we just start
Q&A.
talking? And we were like, yeah, let's just get up on stage. And we just started talking. Yeah, it was the most off the cuff thing I think we've just ever done at a convention ever.
Yeah, and then we answered questions about our panel, about our experience, about our history.
It was super fun to do.
Yeah,
I remember I felt so awkward up there because I was just giving so like terse short answers to things.
I was loving it,
and I'm just like, I want to expound, but I don't know how. I'm shy. I'm just a little guy.
So then, connecting after it, so as you all are probably aware, I do my little 30 to 45 minute spiel at the beginning, and then I go off, pass it off to Dan.
You do?
I do my thing. I go off and I'm standing in the back, and then this one girl approaches me, and I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on? And she's like, hi. She goes to shake my hand. I'm like, hi. I was like, all right, this is
just a hand.
I was like, this is business now. And she's like, she's asking like, have you done like how long have we doing this? Just getting some information about us. And I'm like, oh yeah, here's blah blah blah. I will talk about us till I'm blue in the face. And she's like, okay, well, my name is Jay, and I work for WeebCom Indie. And we are a anime convention that's going to be hosting in Indianapolis in 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, she's like, I love your energy. I love your group's dynamic. I love everything here. I actually wasn't even supposed to be at this panel. I was supposed to be at a different panel, and I ended up here. And I just wanted to stay. And I took a video of you guys. I sent it to my boss. He's loving it. And I was wondering if you would be interested in being a part of WeebCon Indie. And I was like, oh my gosh, here's my card. Here's my information. Please reach out to me. I'm not going to give you a solid yes or no right now because I have to talk to the entire team, but we are interested in the idea. Of course, because this is so last minute too, and it's very far for us, we would need some blah, blah, blah. We're like, all right. I shook her hand, and then she walked away.
I'm looking at Dan dying in the corner.
Dying.
Well, because after the show, we actually had a small Q&A, with level 21, and because a bunch of people came up and asking
just like D&D tips
and advice and stuff.
Oh man,
that happens, and we say goodbye to them, and we say goodbye to level 21, and Anthony comes up and he goes, Dan, how would you feel about doing a show in 3 weeks?
in two states away.
2 states away.
In Indianapolis. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, can a man just breathe for a second?
No.
He's like, well, okay, we'll talk about it when we get back. We get back to the hotel room and immediately he goes, so I was talking to this person, and I was like, when did you have time to talk to this person?
Yeah. Because I don't know if anyone was really around. I think it was just you.
It was just me because the show was starting, and I'm in the back.
And we were all just as flabbergasted.
No, honestly, I think the first person I told was Mel from Level 21 because you all were like busy doing things or like sitting near people, and I didn't want to be. It was loud, and she was in the back, and I was like, I have to tell someone. Someone must know. I think I texted Kelly, and I was like, all right, she's not responding to me right now, so I'm gonna go tell Mel because she's at least someone who understands and will be able to geek out with me.
But yeah, crazy.
It was just so funny to me. He was like, yeah, so I was talking to this person. I was like, when were you talking to this person?
I'm good at my job.
And they're like, it really felt like, Dan, I sold you to another one.
Yeah, right.
I was like, you did what to me? But it was
That's
just
basically how it panned out. It's
yeah,
just
but
like,
it was just, I was like,
Dan, I may or may not have whored you out to another convention. And you're like, you did what to my what?
Can you give me the voice?
voice?
Can you give me the voice real quick?
Oh, sure. Okay, go for it.
Oh, Dan, we're gonna pimp you out, little Danny boy. You have all the milk, don't you?
That's wild because Matt doesn't even hear him in Markiplier's voice. It sounds exactly like him in the headphones. But no, Anthony's like,
I had to lean back for that one.
I think we got another one if you're willing to do it. And I was like, I don't know. 3 weeks is kind of like right
It was
here.
so
So then we had the conversation. It's like, okay, what is the bare minimum that we would need in order to?
Well,
do
they
it?
would need to get us.
They need to get us a hotel,
a hotel and
Badges.
and the
badges, and then if they can pay for travel,
Yeah,
then cool.
gas would
We-
be-
we
I sent it to
basically
them,
asked
and
for-
they're like, "Deal,
Done.
you
Done.
got it."
Done. Done.
And we're
Done.
like,
Wow.
It's because they were
Master negotiation.
Yeah, they were propositioning us last minute. Those were reasonable
Yes.
expectations.
and then they were like, and then they also offered, they're like, "Hey, would you also want to host panels, like celebrity voice actor panels? We're looking for moderators," and we're like, "Sure, let us know what panels you have available."
Yeah,
and
we have zero experience in this,
and
but
we'll
we'll
do
do
it.
it.
and then so we got
Fake
that
it,
experience.
fake it till you make it.
And,
Yeah.
and I also remember the week after, I was really nervous about WeebCon. I was like, Anthony, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah,
And
and I'm
Anthony,
like, "Shut the fuck up."
and Anthony and Kelly were both like, Dan, why do you think you can't? they're
Stop
they're
being stupid, Dan.
yeah, stop being stupid.
Hey, Dan,
no,
have you considered not being a little bitch?
No, they were actually really gentle about it. I called them on the phone, and they were both like pep talking me. They're like, "Dan, you're great. You're fine. You can do this. You can go."
because it's that this WeebCon interaction was like the first time that someone has like
Scouted us.
us, and now like it has given us that opportunity that we've been looking for. It's like, hey, you guys, I see you guys as value and as a company, and we want to hire you, pay for you to come out here and you to offer your talent.
It
and
was
resources.
a level of recognition that frankly we hadn't really gotten up.
And
until
so
that
we
point.
started to get a little bit of that imposter syndrome where it's like, no, we're not actually making it. Even though we've been trying to get that for so long, then once we got it, we're like,
Yeah,
nah,
it was-
it
it
was
was a
almost
big
too
milestone.
good to be true. Because
Yeah.
again, because we didn't have to look for it. We've been having to look for everything, and now something just fell in our laps, and it worked out for us too.
Yeah.
It was like, no way.
I think it really sunk in when we were in the car on the way to Indianapolis, and we're just like, "Oh fuck, this is real."
Yeah. So before we get into them WeebCon, talk about Ascend. What did we learn from WeebCon? Excuse me, Anime Central.
Anime Central, I don't think we learned much, and that's probably a good thing because we were going through the similar motions we did last time, and everything seemed to work
Yeah,
out fine.
everything works. Yeah.
We just keep open lines of communication. Maybe potentially we suggest, and this is having the hindsight of these other conventions as well. We suggest, hey, we're also good at some of these fan panels, like these celebrity panels. We can put that on the table.
Yeah,
for
I think
to
then
sweeten the
it
pot.
just increased our confidence even more.
Yes.
I think for Anime Central, that was the first time I think I started interacting more with the fans and realizing, man, these people like really like us. Like they are so invested in kind of our story, our adventure, our everything. It was also the first time, and I don't know how often you do this, but it was the first time I went out with you and we all hung out around
By the fountain. With fans.
and we were sharing stories with other fans. We're talking, we're getting their stories about their D&D adventures and how crazy some people are and how some people are dice goblins through and through and they're forever DMs and stuff. It was very heartwarming experience to like have that interaction with all these other fans. And it's like, yeah, that's awesome. And they were there to see us, to talk to us, to experience a little bit of what it's like to be a quest bro.
What I learned is that we have a cult following. I don't even know if it's a cult following, but we have such great support at Anime Central. This was our second now Anime Central, and it really solidified, hey, this is where your fans are. And it's like, I will do Anime Central every year now.
Yes. Yeah.
And then also gave me confidence too to like, again, like what you were saying with being able to talk to people about who we are. And then I think now it gave me more confidence for me and Michael to now at Anime Milwaukee wanting to do this paneling 101. We have a story, we have this experience that people want to know about and want to hear about. and we can teach people about it, and people can learn from it, and we want to share our experience from it.
Yeah, even if people aren't actually interested in hosting a panel themselves, it's kind of one of those things where it can just kind of be interesting to hear the behind the scenes of a thing.
And I think the biggest thing for our group, especially for that paneling 101, is that our story is very followable.
We didn't just get lucky.
Correct.
Yes, this situation with WeebCon got lucky, but to even get to this point, we've been doing this since 2018, 2019.
Well, yeah. So for a lot of
is taking off.
For a lot of the fans that are going to discover us this year and next, it's gonna be like, how are these guys so popular out of nowhere? And not having realized that we've been at this.
We've
for
been
like
under your nose the whole
like
time.
And then they look at our
6 to 8 years.
playlist and it's like, oh my
I've been
God.
here the whole time.
And that's how it is for just about everybody.
Yes.
Well, and I think that just speaks like almost volume that like, hey, you really want to know, especially for like the paneling 101, you really want to know like, hey, how did you guys get 1,000 or 2,101 people to see your guys' show in a year? Oh, cool. I mean, here's us doing it in 2018 and the lights going out and the audio being horrible.
Yeah, honestly, having that video on hand would honestly be very good.
Yes, that's a good point. And again, anyone who is interested in coming to see that panel, we will record it just even for our sake. But I mean, you'll be able to see it. We're not just going to talk about all the successes too. Like we will talk about how we failed.
I was going to say we're probably going to talk more about the stuff that it's like, oh, we learned from this thing.
Yeah, because we learned more from failure than we did from our success.
Even that stuff like with Anime Magic and the tricks that we had just with Gen Con that we've talked about. But again, all right, let's try and speed through this stuff. We're only
next one will be
this is a 2-hour podcast for anyone wondering.
It might be a 2-part podcast.
Probably.
Okay, WeebCon. So it was a first for WeebCon itself.
Yes. Because they are based out of Texas.
Yes. They did bring us on to do, they provided us with all of these free things. We basically went to the convention with zero debt.
Zero cost.
We went there with zero cost, and we left with more than we
arguably had. We walked away with stuff.
Yes,
correct.
And then besides just doing improv, I actually honestly I don't even think there's much to talk about for the improv shows.
No, not really.
We had great audio. We had great support. We had an AV team. The shows were as big as they could be for all these other.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first con that gave us an AV team.
That's true.
Which is absurd.
Yeah,
but it's also something that I started to realize. I was like, that's something that I realized. I was like, man, first, this should be standard. Second, Anthony's amazing. And I already thought he was awesome before. Now he's like out of reach.
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing.
Because now it's one less thing I have to worry about. And I can delegate things or just be more hands-on with you guys instead of having to figure that out.
Right.
Well, and it was just like, so it gave me that new level of appreciation. But then I also realized, I was like, this should just be standard.
Yeah.
I was like, why isn't
for
there
the
more
level
of this?
For the level of shows that we do with the amount of people we have, having a dedicated AV guy, it would be like a godsend.
I think the AV team explained the reason why they were able to have a dedicated team for each room.
Yeah, it's because from Texas.
Yes, because they were from Texas, and that's usually a bigger venue. And since this is their first year, they had all these volunteers, all these normal on-site staff.
To notice as well, there were other panel rooms that didn't have it, but because we were the main stage for this,
we were main stage.
So we were going to have this dedicated team at least. They wanted to make sure, because that's where the celebrities were. Transitioning to that, the big thing that I kind of want to talk about too, which is honestly my favorite part of this con and is a core memory for me and what I think went well, is that we got to host celebrity voice actor panels.
Oh, now this right here, this is my personal yearly highlight.
Yes,
having the ability to do this.
So of the 5 anime panels we moderated, we did 3 of them here.
Dan's just sulking away into the corner.
We did 3 of them here at WeebCon. The first one being Konosuba with Michael and Dan.
Oh
my gosh. Good. It was so good.
Here, let me give a little bit of context beforehand. So WeebCon emailed us and they're like, hey, here are all the celebrity panels that we are going to be hosting. Pick as many as you want to do. So we're like, okay, if it's okay for us to do it in duos, which they were fine with, we'll do it. So we basically almost each of us had a duo like I think the goal was everyone would do a panel twice.
Yes.
Matthew was also there, but it was his birthday, so he was just there vibing. He was having a good birthday weekend of just a free con.
Your gift is you get to come along.
And what a gift.
So the first con the first anime voice actor panel that our group hosted was with Michael and Dan, which was Konosuba.
I mean,
Oh my God.
Try to keep it a little short.
I'll keep it shorter.
Dan.
I let actually Michael take the reins of it purposely.
This was your first time like on stage.
Correct.
Yes, this was my first time taking center stage for anything.
Well, and I also knew how much it meant to Michael. It meant a lot to me as well.
I love Konosuba.
And I'd finished it. I had caught up to this series literally for this. I had it fresh in my mind. Literally, I had all my notes done for both this and the other panel that I had. And I purposely kind of held back just so Michael could take the reins more, because I know I'm a very
You're
strong,
a casual fan?
No.
I'm a
no,
strong
it's because
personality.
He takes charge of a room.
Yeah.
And I knew I could do that, and I didn't want to do that to Michael. I didn't want to take charge, because I knew if at any point I felt like I wasn't getting enough, I could do it.
Yeah.
I could take charge and hold the panel up and do whatever and do it in such a natural way that it was successful. So I really wanted Michael to have the opportunity to talk more, to interact more. And God, Michael did so well.
He did very well.
He did so well. I was laughing on stage, which is super unprofessional of me because I was losing it. I chimed in every now and then and just kept the conversation going when it started to get stuck. But at the end of the day, it was so successful.
Yeah. So Michael, you tell us your perspective.
Oh my God. It was fucking electric. Okay, so first off, I did a ton of prep work on that particular Q&A. I looked into all the VAs. I tried to find interviews that they had done in the past, which not many actually, and see what sort of things they like talking about, what sort of things they experienced, what their work was like, what previous things they've done or whatever. I was on deck and ready to go for this Q&A because I wanted to make it a good time for the audience and the voice actors as well.
And then also you want to make a good impression for us, so then it looks like we know what we're doing.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean that too. I've been, from what I heard after the fact, in general, actors and not that kind of attention to detail is thoroughly uncommon. Apparently,
Yeah, that was actually kind of, sorry to take it over.
No,
but
go ahead.
That was an insane thing to hear. Is that our Q&A with them was super good.
Right.
Really, really professional.
Well, this is our first time.
I was like, this is our first time. But then the feedback all three of them gave about the questioning, about the pacing, about the consideration behind the
And you
questions.
guys were very natural with it, and you just treated them like normal people.
correct. And I really tried to hold their attention like it was a conversation.
Yes.
To make it more comfortable, to make it more seamless. I think that's a better format. I also asked them questions that they, as voice actors, would appreciate. I tried to make it somewhat less about the show, even though the voice actors were really into the show, shockingly, and they love talking about it. I tried to make the questions somewhat more applicable to them as people.
Sure. Yeah.
And their feedback afterwards.
Oh yeah, they were
was
super.
they loved us as Q&A holders. They were like, yeah, this is probably one of the better ones, if not the best one I've ever had, which is a lot of high praise to hear. Right. Even if they haven't done a lot, to say that ours was the best they've ever had, for whatever reason, meant a lot to me.
I was electric. I was so
You were on
happy
cloud
that
nine.
I was on cloud nine.
I think I explained to you too while at WeebCon, I was like, that high that you feel, that's the high I feel every time when I'm emceeing improv. And that's why I love doing it, because it's a feeling unlike anything else. And even though it's not about you, and that's the great thing, it doesn't need to be about you. You're creating these memories and this experience for the audience and the people on stage, and everyone is just vibing, and you reach that zen or just that flow state, and it just feels so good.
Yeah. No, it was overall though super great experience. I loved doing it. And for that alone would have made WeebCon like one of my favorite experiences in the history of the Quest Bros for me, just in a personal capacity, just because of that. And overall, it was a great con, a very enjoyable con for its first year, and really well put together for its first year in a new city.
Yeah.
I have nothing but nice things to say about WeebCon.
Honestly,
Indy.
and hopefully the connection that we can hopefully now be able to go to their Texas convention. If they enjoyed us so much, they'd bring us out there. We'd love to do it.
Absolutely.
But that is the conversation happening.
Other shows,
So then after that, we had other shows or the other panels.
panels.
Oh, so then we had Jared and I were supposed to do Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, but as it turns out, they had
their own moderator that they brought.
Yes.
And the convention then hired us to do it, and there was just a lack of communication.
Miscommunication.
Yes.
So it was frustrating because then Jared and I
Disappointing.
didn't get to do it.
I was very, very sad.
Yes, I was also very upset about it too. It was one of the few times that everyone has seen me pop off, and in not a good way. I'm trying to think of the
Crash Out.
Thank you.
I was very secondhand pissed off for you.
Yeah.
If that had happened to me for Konosuba, I would have been immensely upset.
Yeah,
with
because
the
Jared and I
whole
love Cowboy Bebop. I love the music for it. Jared loves the space cowboyness of it.
Yeah,
like
the whole style of it. I love dirty space. It's such a good concept and it makes sense.
Yeah,
and sci-fi.
If I have to look at it in a positive way, I think it's probably good that we didn't do it because there were so many of them.
Yeah, they
and
had-
for us, that being then our first moderated panel, that would have been a little tricky.
Yes.
Well, and here's two other good things that I took from that is one, the moderator didn't even do a whole lot during it. It wasn't about his questions or anything because they are very
Established.
The
also
actors
their
like to
personalities are like very control the room kind of
Yeah.
personalities, and they just went.
Yes.
went,
No,
went,
and
went.
I'll
They're
say
very
this.
good at bouncing off each
I'll
other.
say this from like a personal like viewer of that particular quote Q&A. That was a really interesting thing to listen to them all talk, but they basically, it was more like a podcast and they were all talking about their experiences on the filming of Cowboy Bebop, which was super interesting to hear. But admittedly, there was no space
There's no
edgewise.
Q&A.
You could not. They maybe asked 3 questions from the audience at the very end when they were about to kick them out of the room, basically.
Yeah, they went overtime.
Correct.
So, in some respect, we wouldn't have gotten really much out of it anyway.
Yeah.
It is kind of unfortunate, but just because they crammed 7 actors and actresses into one panel, for too small of a time slot.
And one of them was the director.
Yes,
as well,
correct.
Yes.
Which is
Also one of the voice actors at the same time.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
correct. So there was just honestly, it just kind of was how it
Going
was.
back to the Konosuba, the one thing that I wish we could have gotten for you guys, which we didn't realize until after, was to get a group photo.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't think to get a group
Yeah,
photo.
which then we did fix then with the next panel, which was Dan and I doing Hunter x Hunter.
yes.
Hunter x Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
whatever it is.
That's
No.
That's
Because
a ship thing.
I said Hunter x Hunter, and they said Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter.
If you say Hunter x Hunter, the crowd's going to eat you alive. And then the crowd only said Hunter x Hunter.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. But I always call it Hunter x Hunter as well. But no, which one? I think it was
Keith, Robbie, or Max?
Keith.
Okay, yes.
Said
Keith.
that if you say that, they'll eat you alive. But then they come up and they're like, one guy, Max was like, nah, I'm like in the middle. Keith was like, I don't know anything about Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, yeah,
And
so-
Robbie goes, I love Hunter x Hunter.
No, it was the other way around
Was it?
because Keith is like the main villain of Hunter x Hunter. So Keith knew the Hunter x Hunter stuff. Robbie was a villain of the week.
Yes.
But anyway, so we got to talk with them outside in the hallway beforehand. And I've never seen Hunter x Hunter, but I knew all 3 of them from Persona 5.
Yeah.
So I get up there. Max is the first one, and we're talking with him, and I was like, and he's like,
Very funny interaction because we walked up and we were like, hi. And he goes, hi. And then like turned away and was like,
Yes.
they like respectfully like, hi, I get you guys probably know who I am. And Anthony goes, no, we're here.
We're the panel moderator.
panel moderators. And he's like, oh, hi.
hey.
And he's fully like engaged with us.
Yeah.
It was really really funny.
And I understand because you have to be like, you have to be
Respectful,
safe. Yeah,
but
respectful.
safe.
Yeah, because there's lots of weird people out there. But yeah, so he opened up, and then talking with him, he was like, I don't remember like anything about Hunter x Hunter.
And Anthony goes, "It's okay.
It's okay. I've never seen it. Let's talk about Persona." And he's like, "I love Persona." I was like, "Guys, but I'm a Hunter x Hunter fan."
And he's like, oh, that's when Keith walked up and he was like, oh, we just don't need to have him here then. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, Dan was just like, I like Hunter x Hunter.
And then Robbie, I'm wearing my Critical Role Dorian Storm shirt, which is Robbie's character.
He goes, represent.
No, Robbie looks at me and goes, "Nerd." And then Keith, not understanding it, I understood what he was saying.
Yeah.
Keith is like,
He's like,
"Whoa,
"Oh,
you can't
that's
just call
rude."
him that. That's just rude."
Oh, what a real one.
And then they're like, "Oh, wait,
Meanwhile,
no.
you're about
It's
to host
after
a
when we
panel
took
for
the
an
picture.
anime convention. Like, you're all nerds.
Yeah.
It's after when we took the picture, he goes, of course, you're representing. I have to.
No, so as we're
That's
walking
what he
out,
said.
so the celebrities will stay backstage with us. So like the crowd can go out and
So
they
the crowd
don't
can
run
go and
into
they
them.
can hang out.
And then so Robbie, I'm just standing there. We're kind of all just kind of like mingling. And Robbie's
And
like,
we're
"Hey,
like,
you've got your Dorian shirt on. Let's take a photo together." And I'm like, "Okay."
He's like, yeah, you're
I
representing.
normally would have had to pay $60 for this.
Yeah.
Now I got a free photo. And then as we're taking the photo,
Keith was-
Max.
Oh, yeah.
saw it.
Yeah, Max is like-
saw it. He's like, "Hey, let's just take a group photo." And then so all five of us
yeah.
took a photo. And that's when we're like, "Oh, we should have just been doing this from the start." But that was a great time. They were just
Super
great
funny.
guys.
Yeah, that-
They
time.
talked just so casually with each other because they've worked together on so many things for so many years, which was just great.
Well, and it was funny because it was like,
Don't worry, Michael. Next time they want us to host a Konosuba panel, we'll get that group photo for you.
Yeah, no,
it was
probably,
funny because
honestly.
we're just so casual at talking and we can just go with the flow. It was so nice to just be able to be like, yeah, casually we just went with the flow. And something that I realized like after the fact that they told us to kind of make it better, don't be on separate sides, be on the same side.
we were on the
And
same
I was like,
side.
okay. So
Fair
we're not
enough.
going back and forth. But then it made me realize, I'm like, well, they're always going back and forth anyway, so it didn't really matter because we were all just kind of casually sitting up there talking anyways.
Sure.
So it didn't really impact it, but now I kind of understand kind of like us than them.
Yeah.
But so we learned stuff from it.
Yeah, we learned a lot about moderating.
Yes.
Michael, what were you gonna say?
I was trying to remember which character it was from Cowboy Bebop because we had an impromptu conversation with one of the voice actors for Cowboy Bebop. He walked up
Yes,
to
it
us.
was the voice actor of like the villain guy.
Yeah.
Who?
What?
No, not Vash.
No, it wasn't Vash.
I should know this.
I feel so bad
I
for
know.
not remembering,
I'll
but
pull it
I
up.
cannot for the life of me remember.
We'll get to that though. Well, let's finish the panel stuff, but I will bring that
but
story up.
JoJo's Part 5, we also did the
Yes.
one
Yes.
for JoJo's
So that
Part
was
5.
Jared and Michael.
Which was also super great. I had a great time with that. Like, kind of one of those things where it was kind of a split. So that was... It was basically one of the actors was very seasoned in traditional voice acting. The guy who plays Giorno, he's kind of like a newer actor, and so like he hasn't voiced in quite as many productions. So he was like really enthusiastic about the whole Q&A and just in general.
yes.
And I'm trying to remember. It was Sean
Shiplock.
Chiplock.
Yes.
The
which
wild card.
He is a character.
Yes.
So much personality. Good lord.
Yeah, and
he
you guys just-
carried that.
Yeah, but you guys just like riffed off each other so well, so
Oh
easily.
yeah.
I love one
It
of the
made
photos
it so
I have.
Easy.
I look
Of
like
Jared.
I'm on the panel.
But you just looked so natural with them,
Yeah.
which is what I loved. Okay, so yes, and now coming then to the last interaction. So it's Improv D&D Saturday, and we're sitting there. Dan is in there. I just went all the way out in the hall to sit on the couch and just kind of like decompress because we had been doing a lot that day.
Yeah, I'm realizing I'm missing all the fun because I actually am up there on the stage.
Hey, I just did my part. I'm just taking a break.
Hey, you're earning your 25%.
And then so Michael and Jared, and I think honestly, almost everyone. I know Matt was still at the camera, but everyone had come out now. Michael and Jared were sitting out on the couch and we're just relaxing. And this guy comes up and is like looking around, and I recognize him. It is Skip, the voice of Vicious.
Yes, Vicious.
From,
That's what it was.
from Cowboy
yes.
Bebop. I don't remember. Skip Stillrich or something like that. I'm
Yes.
pronouncing it wrong. And he's peeking in, and I recognize him. And so I'm like, I'm going to just
The
talk to him.
casual king himself is
I'm like, hey, Skip, you can go in if you want. And then he's like, oh, what is this? He doesn't know who I am.
No.
And then he just comes and sits on the couch next to us and just has a conversation. And it was just like the chill. Like I had my arm out, like just like if I'm stretching, and he came and basically like sat like in my arm, like if I had my arm around him.
Yeah,
like,
he
didn't care.
was literally like, oh, I didn't realize you guys were chill like
This,
that. And he
this
just
one
sat
was
down.
more of a chill convention
Yes.
because I remember we passed by we
passed-
passed by Robbie and we're like,
Yeah,
hey,
Robbie
He's like,
Damon
hey.
was eating and just walking in the hallway. Keith Silverstein was also in the hallway. I think I saw Sean Chiplock at one point, and someone Pedroza. I can't think of his name.
we ended up seeing Max afterwards because
then
he
Max was
on
at the
this
elevator.
similar floor than us or something.
Yeah.
Or same elevator. So it was really funny because after we did the panels, they went out of their way to be like, "Oh, hi guys, hi
Yeah.
again."
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they
it's
knew
like,
us.
Nice to see you, and it was weirdly to like because like even
Yeah, when I went up to Arnie Pantoria,
I was like,
the
"Hey,
voice
you
of
might
Cosima,
not
afterwards.
remember us." He's like, "Of course I remember you guys."
No
I was like,
kidding.
and Faye said the same thing,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Of course I would remember you guys."
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like to think like that.
No,
You know?
but it was super flattering to hear what they had to say to us after the fact when we went to go visit the booths and just when we were talking to them out in the wild in general and whatnot. It's crazy having a voice actor compliment your outfit. Like,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
calling, because I was wearing the thing that I wore
You're basically
for the
wearing your Austin
JoJo's.
Powers.
No. I was wearing what I was wearing for part 5 for JoJo's, so I looked like, to my mind, an Italian
yes.
mobster.
Yes.
I had the sunglasses on and
Oh,
everything.
yeah,
and
Tony
he was
Pizza.
like, "Oh my god, dude, you look like a rock star." And I was just like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
And then there's me in my like handmade shirt, just like I am here now, just vibing.
It was so great. I was revitalized.
So in conclusion, what we learned, I think really is what we just learned, what we've kind of talked about. We learned a lot about moderating panels, and I think we can easily do this with more confidence. And
Yes.
I at least get to in the next con. We definitely learned a lot. We're like, we can do this. And it's now another thing we can provide conventions with to make us more attractive to want them to bring us.
I wish more conventions asked us to do this sort of
Yes.
stuff.
Or would take us up on it, even
I
when
really,
we offer it.
yeah.
I would love if they host another Konosuba panel, they immediately ask us back, but specifically you two.
Oh god,
That'd be really flattering.
I would die.
The conventions don't know who did what.
Yes.
But if the voice
Well-
actors did, that'd be cool. Okay, we got to keep moving.
Yes.
Okay, next convention is
It's a
Anime
2.5 hour, by the way.
Anime 414. So
Jinx.
second year con, first time for us there. We were asked by Icon Gaming and one of our great friends Ron and his coworker Mel. They invited us to come help them. The con, the way it runs, they don't host panels.
No.
It is a small con.
It's a floor
one
show.
stage, one small gaming area, which was the Icon Gaming. It's a floor
Vendor
show.
hall.
Vendor hall and
And
everything.
then autographs.
No
From in
pressure,
there-
Michael. Jesus.
So from in there,
This would be funny.
Ron knew, hey, I'm in charge of like all of the gaming area. They don't do panels there. I know I had talked to him about coming to Anime 414 and he's like, hey, I know they're not going to reach out to you because they don't have an opportunity for that. I have a platform you guys can do this on. Do you want to do it? I just asked that you just come and just kind of like help me set up and we'll get you all free tickets and everything. It's in Milwaukee. It's close for us. We're like, sure, let's try it. So we're Michael, Jared, and I are able to get there the first day. Actually, the day before. This was only a Saturday, Sunday con. We got there Friday. We're able to help set up and do all whatever. Then Saturday comes. We're doing everything. The Improv D&D was fine. It was small because there was also
It's
no
as good as we could expect given
yes.
how
Yes.
small of a
The
con
convention
it
was small. The
like
area was small.
a couple hundred people small.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was very lucky that Ron was also in charge of hosting all of the voice acting panels on the main stage. To help him, he asked me, he's like, hey, would you want to at least host one on Saturday and one on Sunday to take a load off of me and then also get you the experience. And I'm like, sure, I'll happily do that.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, pick 2 that you want. And I was like, all right, I'd love to do the Dragon Ball one. And then he's like, all right, then can you also do Fairy Tale? And I'm like,
and then this guy doesn't know anything
I don't know
about
anything about Fairy Tale.
And meanwhile,
Fairy
2
Tale.
guys in the group fucking know a shit ton about Fairy
so
Tale.
I spent so much time like looking up like summaries, plot analysis, everything like
And
that.
you didn't
asking
need any
people.
of it, basically.
And then
No,
I-
because
I
he
mean-
gets on stage and
No, not even before I get on stage. I'm behind stage. And the voice actors, similar to Hunter x Hunter, they're like, can we not talk specifically about Fairy Tale?
Oh my god!
Because for them,
that's
Fairy
common.
Tale, I mean, they haven't
so
done it
common.
in years, so they don't remember exact
Exactly.
moments.
No, it's
Yeah.
And you're just like, boy, do I have news for you.
I remember going to like support him in the crowd and being like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just going on and on about everything but fairies.
Yeah, they just wanted to talk about their experiences
Yeah,
and like
and that's-
them being voice actors and
then
behind the
it
scenes.
turned very much, because it was all females, it turned very much into like female in the voice acting community.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like,
it was very empowering.
yeah,
It
turned into
it
kind
was
of that.
very fascinating.
Well, and it also here was what made it even more interesting was that all 3 of them had different views on it.
Yeah.
Completely different views.
Yeah, true.
So one was like, it was really tough, everyone was against her kind of story. And the other one was like, man, everything was easier kind of story. And then someone was kind of more
yeah,
of
it's
the
like it was some
someone was
bad,
kind of
some
more of
good.
like almost like a director like kind of point of view in the entire story. So it was very interesting from our point of view to also see that as like a crowd member.
Yeah.
Yes. One point that was funny to me, I was in the crowd for both panels. I was in charge of at least trying to get a good angle to record Anthony, moderating these
Yeah,
panels. So we have that clout, we have proof and evidence that we can do this. We have done it. And Ron, like, afterwards was like, you're like a proud dad just in the crowd.
Honestly, though, that is
And
how
it's
I was
like, yeah.
feeling watching Anthony.
And
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I am.
because it's not. It's one of those things where I could definitely feel it off of the rest of y'all. The pressure of talking to voice actors.
I don't even, honestly, to be honest, I don't feel a whole lot of pressure talking to them. There's
I don't know. I felt nerves.
So,
Like,
I
felt nerves.
was nervous, and what really helped with that is meeting them before the panel
Yes.
to have that kind of
Yes,
rapport.
it's a real icebreaker.
Which really helped
Yeah.
with both Hunter x Hunter and Konosuba.
Yeah, it did.
But like then it was like after saying hi, it was like, okay, we got a show to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something in me was like, okay, it's showtime.
So what was really interesting for me with Anime 414, Fairy Tale, I didn't know anything about the thing. So I was very nervous going into that, and I had a great time though. I think it was honestly the better of the 2. Then on Sunday, hosting Dragon Ball Z, you all know I love Dragon Ball. I'm obsessed with it. And honestly, that was the roughest time I had on stage. Because while the girls, they gave me very in-depth answers. It was all guys. It was the voice of Cell, Trunks, and Gohan.
Yeah.
And I'd ask the same question, and I would get one-word answers. And I'm like, okay.
To be
It
fair,
was
the guy who was the voice of Cell was busting your balls.
he really was, and he knew he was.
But why? Like I didn't see that show. So
He just did it just to do it. That's just what he does.
Yes.
Ron had given me the heads up ahead of time that he does like to do that. But then the voice of Trunks, I went to his booth after and to talk to him and thank him, and he was so apologetic for it. He's like, you did a wonderful job. Damien is just
Yes.
gonna do that just
Damien
to mess
Clark.
with you. Yes, Damien Clark. But Eric Vale, the nicest dude. But okay, so yeah, I mean, so we did that.
This was
The worry and the worst part for me was that weekend, my basement flooded, 4 inches of water in it. And I was talking to Kelly at home and I was like, should I go? Should I cancel? And Kelly's like, just go. Like, well, the damage has already been done here. Like, we can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Just go, at least like
Salvage the weekend.
yeah, get this experience out of it, because this is still help for the future. If you miss it, it might hurt for the future.
Anthony's underselling it. When he says 4 inches of water, he means his entire basement was covered in standing 4 inches
not
of
just
water.
one section, the entire
basement. And his entire basement,
some bad flooding.
it has to be like, I don't know, maybe between 5 and 1,100 square feet. Anywhere between there. So like the entire area being covered in 4 inches of water was absurd.
Yeah.
We had to tear down like the paneling for the bar.
And I had stayed
to
up
prevent
so late
mold.
that night, like just freaking out, trying to salvage things. Luckily, we'd salvaged a lot of things. Again, that's not what the point of this conversation.
No.
I just,
But there was so much going on that I was like,
it adds more to the story about how kind of the mindset you were in, and then you still like pulled it together, still gave a good show. It's just, I'm trying to like,
and I appreciate it.
I will say from my perspective, because I felt like, compared to everyone else, I was probably the closest to the convention. I know I got there like almost every day super early, compared to everyone else. And I was kind of worried, especially on Sunday, because I was like, where the fuck is everyone?
Yeah.
We were supposed to come here early. And I was like super panicked. It's like, oh no, did they forget? Did they just ditch me?
No, I know. And it was a tricky weekend. And then that was the one like downside of it. Is like what didn't go well is that there wasn't much besides the improv shows that we got to do. It didn't really benefit the group that much. I benefited from being able to host panels personally because then I got free autographs from them. And yeah, that's good because then I could use that experience for the group. But I felt terrible about it too because I was like, damn, like not everyone really got something out of this like we did with WeebCon.
And then out of karma, your basement flooded because of it.
So
the universe balanced it out.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's pretty much, that ties a pretty neat bow on Anime 414.
So then next we've got Fan Expo Chicago.
From a convention standpoint, Fan Expo, kind of like what we touched on before, is that they didn't really keep doing the things that they did really well last year going. So they took kind of the consideration of kind of what we said, hey, you guys really need to work on this stuff. And they took that into consideration. They really tried doing like an after-hour program and stuff. But they invested so much into doing that and trying to make sure that was perfect that they kind of fell off on a bunch of other aspects of the convention. And it was like, hey, you guys kind of dropped the ball here because they invested so much into this new thing to try and get it to work. And it was the first year. I don't know if you don't know, but anytime a convention tries to do something new, the first year never works.
No.
Because they're still trying to figure out how to maximize the space and how to kind of like figure everything out because there's so many little details of every single thing. Who's going to be IDing people? Well, and that's another thing. They had like bars set up. So the logistics of having a bar available to everyone is like just it adds a level of like
a simple thing like having, so at, like for instance, Anime Central, you would, when you were getting your tickets, there was a booth right next to it for 18 plus. You'd show them your ID. They'd give you a wristband that said 18 plus.
It wasn't even a booth. It was just 3 people sitting in chairs.
Same difference.
Still.
Yeah.
So, for instance, there was an entire 18 plus after hours section, or 21 plus section, really, for Fan Expo Chicago, and there was no streamlining of that process at all. Like simple things like that they should have thought of. That it's like you should have done wristbands or some other way to quickly identify people. Just because doing this kind of adult sectioning for after hours gets really complicated when it's this many people, and you've got no way to keep things moving seamlessly. And then they were forced, because of it, they were forced to section off so much into a particular area, but then that crammed a lot of stuff into one tiny space,
and there's just not enough room.
Which bit us in the butt
hard.
Because everything had to be so crammed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why for Fan Expo this year, I'm almost tempted to say we shouldn't go for 18 plus period.
Correct.
So that we get a chance at a normal room.
So the idea here is that Fan Expo, we were doing so successful at Fan Expo that we were actually talking about using their second biggest room. Their like 300 to 600 plus room, which is the one step down from their main stage, which held like 1,400 people. That's how successful we were doing at Fan Expo. The room that we got because of this like 18 plus area only fit
32 people.
32
it was
people.
insignificant.
Yes.
I was going to say 35 people. We not only filled that room, but we had people standing in the hallway and in the room.
And the worst part too
And
about
along the wall.
that room setup is it wasn't theater style. Like there were tables, so that there was like a whole like 5 rows that could have been more chairs for more people to sit.
Yes.
But
It was a small stage too.
But yeah, it was classroom style, so there was you could have gotten rid of all those and doubled the room.
Yeah, and it felt like we were kind of an afterthought to them. Where they're like, "Oh crap, we did say you can have this Friday, so we got to fit you somewhere."
The ultimate irony of Fan Expo Chicago is it's not fan orientated. It's geared more towards celebrities.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
And it was kind of ridiculous that we were actually in the process of talking about getting their second biggest room because of last year, and then we got probably one of the smallest
I think the
rooms
smallest room.
that they had to offer.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, cool. Our crowd was over 150 plus, and we only had enough seats for 32 people.
Yeah.
We turned away so many people.
And the analytics prove that. We literally
that's why we start keeping score of this stuff.
we had over 2/3 the amount last year than we did this year.
Yeah.
In
Well,
terms
and
of
here's the thing that-
audience and alone.
Here's the thing that the analytics don't tell you is how many fucking people we turned away,
Yeah,
which
a lot.
pisses me off the most because even while I'm doing the show, I have people sitting in the hallway, like getting up, stretching, upset that they didn't have a seat and walking away, even though like they liked the show, they were interested in it, whatever. But it's like it was also an uncomfortable spot to sit in and watch the show because the bar was right there.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they could just sit in the hallway like they did at C2E2.
Well, and the thing is at least at C2E2, there was enough space in the actual room for most people to
Even sit on the floor.
Correct.
To sit on the floor. This showed us the extent of what people were able to tolerate, which is to say, if you can't even get in the doorway to listen to the show.
Well, yeah, we have people standing all the time in our shows.
Correct.
Yes.
Along the walls, in the back, like all the time.
I think this was the first time we've had people, like in a long time at least, like since before we started. It's been a long time since we've had people standing at our shows and then leave because they were standing.
It was. I can't blame anyone because it was such a frustrating experience for attendees.
Hey, but we
was
can
really
say
that
we
bad.
filled that room to 100% capacity. Over 100%. Yeah, I can guarantee that. Some of them are probably like 98, 95, whatever.
We
I
have
can say
improved.
over 100% for sure.
Well, and it doesn't get, and then of course the show itself, very unique situation where we had 2 people on stage that were playing like mute characters.
yeah, so
Yes.
that was very tricky.
That was very tricky to get around and do, but it was also really funny though because they were both fans, so they were making. I think the thing that kind of helped us was they were making a lot of references,
Yes.
which was awesome. I love to see that, but it just kind of made it tricky having 2 of them. I think if we had one of them, it would have been perfectly fine.
yeah, but again, the
2
audience chooses.
But the
We
audience
do so
chooses.
much.
So the other thing that made it real tricky was the next day we were pushed back an hour.
It was actually, it's even more complicated than that. So we were originally supposed to be at 7, I think. Maybe it was 7:30. Then we get a message and they were like, oh, okay, we're actually going to have to push you back to 7:30. And we're like, okay, that's fine. Can you put something out on social media? Can you promote it? Because it's not correct on the sign and it's not correct on the app.
Radio silence.
We'll get that fixed and corrected.
Yeah, no.
And it never did.
And even if they had, it still killed the momentum completely.
And then it got worse because, okay, say you're supposed to be there at 7. People get there before 7.
Correct.
And then they're like, oh, it doesn't start till 7:30. All right, I'll just sit and wait. Then 7:30 comes and we're like, hey, why can't we get in there? There's a panel in there that is a paid panel that people are doing it doesn't matter what they're doing. They're in there. They are not going to get kicked out because they paid to be in there. And now we can't get in there until another 30 minutes later. So now our panel has
Actually, it
been
was
pushed back,
even longer.
has been pushed roughly an hour. And so now people have been waiting for an hour plus. And because of that, people are just going to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
we
a lot
didn't,
of people
we didn't get in
walked.
that room until like 8:20.
Correct.
Because that panel didn't end until like 10 o'clock.
And then that another bad part too is the convention itself. There was no like nightlife stuff like there was at least on the Friday. Saturday, the convention center was done. Like they were closed.
yeah.
So people were just going home.
Correct.
Leaving.
Correct.
Yes.
So then there was like no one else around because then also no one knew. We were way down in the hall where people couldn't see us.
We were very tucked out of the
and we
way.
were there for an hour just sitting in the hallway. So people aren't going to be like, why? I'm not just going to sit
No,
here.
we were
I'm either
mentioning
going
there
to, I'm going to go home. I'm going to get dinner.
The fact that we still got 150
Is a miracle.
Yes.
people in that room, despite everything, despite losing over half the people who were waiting for it, despite losing even more people that were going to go into that show, we would have filled that room completely, just like we did the day before. But you pushed us back an hour and 20 minutes from what people expected to get there, and they get there early, so they're getting there at 6:45.
Yep.
We were there at like 6:30, so there was people there at 6:30, and we're not letting them in until 8:20.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, it's just absurd. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I don't care if those people paid at all. These people are here to see a show you guys designed this way. It's like if that really was the situation you guys were dealing with, at what point do you guys sit here and go, all right, are we going to upset the 30 people or 40 people that are in this room? Or are we going to upset 100 or 320 people that are out here trying to do something?
There are possibly other options that they could have considered. They could have maybe considered trying to slot us in
To a different room.
Yes.
Or they should have just looked ahead and looked at the schedule and be like, hey, we have this panel that is
was a
paid. Let's not put something
This
after.
should have exactly. They should have never been an issue in the
Or
first.
gave it enough clearance where it's like, okay, let's give
There
it.
wasn't something right after.
Correct.
This should have been like a
Exactly.
30-minute
I'm
cushion.
already feeling exhausted talking about this.
Yeah.
It's
this
well,
one,
but
and it was exhausting when we were talking about it.
it was a frustrating
Yeah.
experience.
Yes.
And if the con isn't even going to take us serious like this, it's like it makes us not want to work with them. And we understand there was a lot of staff that were like missing. There some people were gone out of office, and so we couldn't get the communication we wanted.
Got a lot of people out of office.
There were so many
We
emails
got
that
bounced
I
around
sent.
3 times.
I would email someone and it would
Before
be
the
like, email
convention.
these. If I'm out of office, email these 3 people. I emailed all 3 of them, even if they weren't related to what I was doing or needed. And then I would get I'm out of office. Email these people.
We ended up
I sent in
running
circles.
into someone there, like another person that works at that convention there.
Yeah, he did like the
in
vendors.
person.
And he's like, I don't do this, but I can get you an email. I emailed that person. They never got back to me.
Yeah, it was horrible, like the worst.
But talking about the shows itself, though, like the improv shows themselves, again, they were fine. They were great. I can't say they were anything too memorable.
yeah, they were okay. It was the
I could pull up the titles. Yeah, I missed the titles for the past couple ones.
the Saturday one was the Ben 10 one.
Yeah.
So you had the 2 silent and then the Ben 10 one.
Yep.
So going back a little bit, so Weebcon was Like Candy from a Baby and the Lego Movie 3 all bricked up. And then this one was Silent Nights, it's Nights with a K, and then Hot Pocket, which was also the Ben 10 one.
Yes.
And then Anime 414 was Costco in Area 51.
Yep. That was the first time we tried B Team.
B Team, yeah, that was the first B Team too. Yeah, and you guys did really well with that.
I'm not as engaging as you, but that was also.
I mean, it was hard because the crowd wasn't as engaging itself.
It was a combination of things where
Well,
where
everybody
we
was-
were and what we were doing.
Yeah, the whole thing with the being an hour pushed back and all that jazz really killed a lot of the momentum and spirit that people would have otherwise had. It was a real mood killer, and I didn't quite get an opportunity to say, but I was listening to what a lot of the people were saying, or when they were getting told by staff that they were going to have to wait even longer than they were the first time, and that the reason being is that, oh, well, these people paid. A lot of their reactions was, well, we paid to be here at the convention for
Exactly.
these panels. Like, this is horse shit was their exact word.
And
it's just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that we couldn't give you a better experience. Through our observations about how the panel before us actually was, and
the panels throughout that day,
and the panels that we went through in general throughout the convention. This is why it's so frustrating for us, is because our panel attracts so many people, has such good performance, has such good retention, and we see a lot of panels, and no diss on the other panels, but they get a fraction of what we do in every conceivable metric, all the things I just mentioned. And so then for us to be given like such an afterthought, it's just so baffling to me, because it would be like if they brought, again, not to be so highfalutin about it, but it would be like if they brought Critical Role in as guest panelists for something related to Critical Role, and then just gave them a broom closet.
Yeah.
And fucked up the time completely and didn't communicate with them at all. And it's like, what are you doing?
Well, and to be fair, and not to be that guy, but we are in this scene with people who do similar-ish things like we do. And their rooms are only like, they get much bigger rooms sometimes, and they only get 30 people. And we get smaller rooms and get 150. So, and it's not like me trying to be like, haha, we're better, but it's just like what we do is so much more accessible for everyone to come and enjoy than some of these other shows that are coming in, and they're kind of a very specific niche that's around D&D.
And it's crazy too, because like with Fan Expo, we've been with Fan Expo since they've transitioned from Wizard World and transitioned into Fan Expo. We've been with them since the first one. You would think we would have this established relationship, that they would understand what we need.
Well, I think a lot of this seems like, in large part to me, like it was because of their issues with the programming manager basically being out of commission and having to go with the backup of the backup.
Sure.
And I get that. It's kind of out of their hands. But I mean, even still, a lot of this stuff can be, at least in part, like email back and forth, whatever the case may be. Like I just, and yes, we have a reputation with some of the executives, but not all the executives. I don't expect them to remember every single thing that they've got going on at all their conventions. I kind of get it, but I kind of don't.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they know us. We know that they know us because we've spoken to them.
Yeah.
So it's baffling. It's really baffling. They've treated us really well pretty much every other year.
We get great BDE.
It hurts to even have to say all this, frankly.
Like we get to skip, it's kind of weirdly enough, we get to skip security, we get to skip the admission line, anything. We just get to go through the exit and they just let us through. Yep. Yeah, I will say I am grateful that they did promote us on social media. We got put on the signs. We got to keep the sign. It's now in the basement on the ceiling.
It's in the rafters.
We kept the sign with our name on it.
And then we had everyone on the Saturday.
We had to break it in half in order to like carry it.
To transport it in the car. Put it in the car. Very funny story, because I am just like kind of open-minded. I wear my heart on my sleeve kind of thing. So when I say things, I'm just like, hey, I was like, we should just take one of these signs. And I said it out loud, and I was so just like, hey. A staff member walked by and she goes, do it. I was like,
you guys
so I sent a message to
like,
their Discord.
She's like,
or not to the Discord, to the Instagram.
Yeah, she's like, honestly, please take it. We're just going to throw it out. And
ironically, that's the thing they decide to be like openly communication
that's
with
where we
us.
Communicate.
For us to get rid of something that they weren't going to keep.
And again, you can't blame it, because that's a whole different team anyways.
Correct.
But I'll say the one thing we did learn is that we need to make sure we have communication. If anyone listening, if you are doing panels, make sure you have a good line of communication with someone at the convention, because it can make
and get
break.
BDE.
And I should make a brief mention to say that at least this year, we were definitely not the only people to get, I'm just going to say it, screwed.
Yes.
Because we talked to other panels.
Other panel people that we're familiar with and people that we're not familiar with. And they were kind of telling us their horror stories too. And they were like,
it was a rough year.
It was a rough year.
I also, not even just us, but some celebrities were also having issues too.
Yeah.
And this was also the first year that they tried the, what is it called? The after hour celebrity?
Yes. Called it,
No, the
after
hour
they had
celebrity.
the anime voice actors were there after hours. Like the ones that were down like right outside,
Yes.
right by the DJ.
Super weird.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that rave section was weird.
What a bizarre thing to try and do. Just not conducive at all.
But we saw Sean again, and that was nice.
Yeah, right. We did see him again. He was there.
He was selling his wife's candles.
Always selling
It
his
was
wife's candles.
It was so cute.
Who wants a free set of dice? Well, lucky for you, we do a monthly dice giveaway. Thanks to Robin's Nerd Supplies, every month we give away a fresh set of dice just for you being a part of the Quest Bros community. These could be sharp-edged, metal, hollow, or maybe even liquid core. No catch, no nonsense, just free dice for your next adventure. To enter, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and drop a comment below. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a giveaway or new Quest Bro content.
Don't forget to check out the Quest Bros merch store. If you want to rep Quest Bros at your next session, con, or game night, we've got you covered. Literally. Every purchase helps support the show and future projects. Buy our shirts. Put them on your torso. They look good on us, and they'll look even better on you.
This is going to be a 2-part podcast. It's already 2 hours, and we still have a whole second part to talk about. But we'll talk about the last con. Are we done? Are we done with Fan Expo?
Yeah.
All right. So we took a couple months off, and then we had our last con of the year, which was Colossalcon North.
This was
First
our
off,
first
a new
time.
con for us.
Radio silent, and then they're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Who are you?
I know you.
Yeah,
Matt wasn't here for this.
We honestly didn't think we were going to get Colossalcon.
Yeah, so we had
we didn't.
applied for Colossalcon a couple years back, and
Yes.
they waitlisted us.
Well, we had applied because we got scouted.
yes.
And it was the very first time ever we got scouted. So we were kind of still baby fresh about it. And they were like, them and 2 other conventions had been like, hey, apply panels for our conventions. And we were like, sure. And then Anime Magic accepted us. And then Colossalcon waitlisted us. And we're like, screw them.
Yeah.
It was like they asked us to apply and then they waitlisted us. This time they recognized us from all the other conventions.
Yeah, we had
and they're like, oh, these guys.
Yeah, there had been another like exec person, I think, who either worked at the con or was just like attending or something, or maybe he wasn't even exec. Maybe he's like, hey, I volunteered at Colossalcon. You guys should apply and go to it. So we're like, all right, let's finally try it again. And they did accept us, which was great. And they shared our stuff on their social media account, which was great.
The big downside was the fact that they couldn't give us all tickets, but
but
realistically,
they did give us discounts.
Yes, 50% off.
50% off of all tickets plus a free ticket. Realistically, we got 2 free tickets, 1 half off.
Yeah.
And 1 full.
So that was at least nice. Again, it was at the Kalahari in the Wisconsin Dells, so it was fairly close for us. Honestly, it's probably the same distance as Rosemont is.
Yeah.
Just in the different other direction.
But we don't have to pay tolls.
Yeah, we learned
Much
though
better.
that it's a lot of the Anime Central crowd that is there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which and it's like again, if you heard, we love the Anime Central crowd and they love us. So it was really great to have that. Where we walked in and not even 5 minutes in there, somebody was like, Quest Bros. And we're like,
And Anthony literally started floating. It was weird.
Anthony's floated over like a pie, trying to entice him to eat it.
Yeah.
He's like Gojo ascending, just
yeah.
Well, and I'm so actually like really shy. So they were like, Quest Bros. And Anthony was like, hi. And I'm hiding behind Anthony like, oh my God, someone found us.
And meanwhile, I'm just so tired, like I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, because it's Friday, it's late. I had just gotten out of work too, working late.
Yeah.
And so that I was like drained.
Yeah, I was still drained.
Michael's always making fun of me that like people recognize us and I like hide. I was like,
I feel like if people started using my name, I would, not to cross streams of what we do, but I would just be like Pidge, just like, just immediate panic because I'm like, what do you want from me?
Well, and people don't know my name by heart, but they know me as the DM guy. So I'm literally one of the people that they want to talk to. And I'm not used to that attention.
Yes, and
It's so funny coming out of his fucking mouth. I can't take him seriously at all.
it is interesting to hear how people refer to us because like in the community, like especially digitally, I am like the face. I'm posting in our Discord, I'm talking for us, I'm posting on social media. And so a lot of times I've had people call me Quest. They're like, hey, Quest. They think like I am Quest Bro. And so like people have referred to me as such.
I am Quest Bro. We are Quest Bro.
And I was like, oh no, I'm not like don't refer to me like that. Like our group is Quest Bros.
No, my name is Anthony, or you can call me Daddy Delicious.
But it would be like someone coming up to you and being like, oh, hey, it's Toshiba. And it'd be like, no, I'm not an entire company.
Yeah.
Like, don't just call me that.
Hey, Pidge.
But I will say, like, again, the con
That makes more sense, though.
the con itself was just run very well.
Yeah, this is
was
one of the
very
most
smooth.
well
Very
organized.
smooth, very organized. The vendor hall was small, but it was cheap.
And
which was really
revolving.
nice.
It was a revolving.
They had a second room that had a revolving like vendor hall section where it was like a TCG like showcase one day, a art
showcase,
an art show the second day, and then a flea market the third day. And then they had the traditional artist alley, then was just did whatever.
and a traditional vendor hall.
Yep. And then lots of panels, lots of interesting panels. Honestly, the one panel that we went to, the shitpost of the panel, we learned so much from it.
It was such a
it
bizarre journey.
Bizarrely inspired us.
I think learning from other people's shitpost is just awesome. It's like what was really funny is that the panel was a total nightmare,
because it was supposed to be.
But it was supposed to be. But learning from another entertainer that goes to a very similar kind of venue that we do, it was like, oh yeah. I was sitting there watching it. I'm like, Anthony, I was like, we should do more presentation wise. I was like, man, I wish we could get pyrotechnics. I was like, because they had a light show thing going on, not pyrotechnics, but like that made me think pyrotechnics.
But it's like, because again, there's not many other panels that we see out there that are entertainment panels.
Correct.
They are, I'm going to talk at you panels.
It's more informative,
They're more
lecture
just informative
style.
lecture
Correct.
styles.
So this was actually so
Or a
much
game
more
show.
interesting.
Yeah.
Correct. 3 words. Looking at Matthew right now. Piss jar man. It's exactly Matthew's humor.
Well, and that's
this show would have been perfect for him.
Correct.
They do it. So next year, Matt, you'll come with, and they do it every year. This year was Nami eats 2 pounds of king crab legs in a Victorian style bathtub. Last year it was Tubi eats a whole family lasagna,
And then it was
and then the year before that it was
Zero with spaghetti.
ReZero eats
no, it was a rotisserie
a
chicken.
whole rotisserie chicken.
Oh yeah, chicken.
Yeah, or maybe there was the other way around. But those were
In
the
any
things.
case,
Either way,
It is a female anime character eating a lot of something that they
that's
shouldn't eat in one
That
sitting.
is not what the show is about.
It's so much more
It's
than that.
So much more.
and it's
And
so
I think
much
their
worse.
company name is like Smooth Brain like Entertainment
Yes.
or something.
It's pure
So honestly,
brain rot.
if you
It's
ever see them, we highly
hilarious,
Yes.
hilarious, and absolutely chaotic.
recommend it. So again,
So yes, we took away quite a bit from that, in spite of the fact.
Yes, more fever dream based content.
Like PowerPoints, we came away
Yeah,
like
came with
being
some
like, oh
visuals.
shit, we should actually utilize
Literally
all
that
the
night.
projectors.
yeah, let's utilize everything that we have at our disposal
Right.
and take advantage of it. But yeah, so everything went well. I mean, there's not too much about the show itself. I will say the Saturday show. No, we only did one show.
It was one
It
show.
was only one show. So our Saturday show, opposite day, honestly, some crazy just interactions with people.
It was
Super
so
engaging.
funny.
I loved just how funny it was. That also, our healer was actually the wizard from Anime Central, the buff wizard. And honestly, one of the only healers who's
Has
actually healed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say, Matt, you'd like it. You know how whenever we play Tycoon and we hit the revolution,
It
and
was that.
it's like that, but it kept revolution,
It was
revolution,
opposite
revolution.
day, and then it wasn't opposite day, and then it was
It was
opposite
opposite.
day.
And then we literally lost track, and we were like, "Where are we
was-
right now? Is
okay,
it opposite
as
day?"
far as like a theme of a show that was happening? This like the opposite day was probably one of the most painful.
Yes.
It was the most painful, but it was also
Because
the
it was
most
so
like
confusing.
it was the most chaotic, but it was
Yeah.
also some of the funniest shit.
like
Was it confusing for you?
Yeah, you having to deal with it was 10 times worse. But I'm just saying, even as a viewer, I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I will say too, this was also the first panel. We tested it with Funny Bone Mafia, but we kind of like officially debuted the new role in Improv D&D, which is the thief,
the thief.
which was TIFF, which was very exciting to try, and it is something that we are going to be incorporating at least for the next show. But now we've discussed it and refined it to be a little bit different. So it will be a finalized version that you will see at Anime Milwaukee.
A more finalized.
A more finalized, a more refined version. But it's very exciting.
I will say overall, this convention was a very welcome surprise. What are you doing?
Very refined. That's my pinky up.
I will say, going into this convention, I didn't know what to expect.
Me neither.
I was very excited for it.
It was not what I was expecting, but I was very pleasantly surprised.
Yes.
It was a surprise to be
Because
sure, but a
I
welcome
always
one.
hear great things about Colossalcon. It was a good time. I mean, honestly, I think the worst part wasn't even anything about the con. It was the rave and the wave, and we just didn't enjoy it. It wasn't for us.
It wasn't.
It was not for us.
I should have gone to emo night.
It could be for anyone else, but not for us.
Catch us at emo night
Next year,
at
catch us
Colossalcon.
at emo night.
But yeah, so I know we kind of skipped some of these questions for some of these cons, but we are already over 2 hours in.
Yep.
We still have a whole second part, which we probably won't do today.
Yeah, probably not.
8 out of 10 would go to Colossalcon again.
Yes.
We could.
I will
But-
make us go.
It is. I guess we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah,
we'll wrap up part
kind of
one.
have to. It's like the only real good stopping
Yeah.
point.
Stay tuned for part 2.
We'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
A different day. But
Yes.
we'll get this out. So what you'll have to look forward to in part 2 is some end of the year questions. We'll of course talk about our favorite con, like our actual favorite con of the year, what we think our best improv D&D show is, maybe some fun inside jokes. And we'll also kind of talk about some future cons we want to visit. I know too from some of our viewer questions too. They want to know some of those same similar things, but also we got some deeper stuff like maybe like our creative burnout versus our creative momentum. Do we feel like we're gonna get sick of this?
I would love to answer this question. Unfortunately,
How has the show evolved over the years, or even just from last year to this year? And also, what does success look like for Improv D&D in 2026?
all very good, interesting questions
That
that I
we
wish
will-
we could get to.
We will answer in 2026.
Yeah, basically.
We will answer
Find out.
next
Hopefully.
time.
Right now. So, Jared, what?
Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Well, find out next
All right,
time.
Markiplier, do you want to sign us out?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody else be Markiplier, please. I don't have it in me. I'll be Markiplier. So, thank you all for watching. This has been the Side Quest podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all our social media so you can stay up to date on all our latest content. But this has been the Side Quest podcast, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.